What's going on? What's going on? All right, you know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. I'm your gracious host, A6. We live and direct, live in effect. It is the foreign national, born natural, and we here to get busy tonight, man. How's everybody doing? What's going on with y'all? All right, we got my man Tony. What up with you, man? Good to see you here, bro. My man Wolf in here early tonight. God damn. The wolf. Let me tell you something about the wolf. The wolf is usually fashionably late. He one of the popular kids at the party, so he usually strolling here a little late. What up, Wolf? How you feeling, man? Thank you for tuning in. Yes, sir. Zakiba, what's good? I saw your message on Instagram, man. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yeah, and the funny thing is, a lot of it is though, but like y'all just don't know where they from, so y'all don't be knowing what songs I'm playing. Pretty much everything I played was from a game. all the intro joints. What's up, Alex? I saw your message too on Instagram. Thank you for reaching out. What up, Chris? Good to see you here, man. I ain't heard from you all week, bro. Everything good? Prof, what's up, Prof? How you feeling, man? Good to have you here too. Absolutely. All right, we got a few heads in here tonight. How's everybody's weekend, man? How's everybody doing, man? We already know we got a lot to talk about today, man. We got a whole lot of stuff to cover. We gotta really get right into it, to be honest with you. My man John Mello, man, boom shakalaka, old school right there. Fire. Absolutely, yes, sir. That was one of the goats, man. That was the original goat first-person shooter. That set the stage for everything else. I don't care what nobody say. It wouldn't be no Call of Duty if it was no GoldenEye for N64. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, look, we got a lot to get into. I don't know if we're gonna be able to cover everything tonight because I've been doing a lot of research this week. I didn't hit the books hard this week, man. So Wolf will tell you I was bouncing some ideas off him just earlier today. All right. Let's get to it. Okay, so some of the things I stumbled across while I was doing my research. So many different things here. All right, let me figure out where to start at. All right, look, so let's start right here. Okay. Absolutely not. Get the fuck out of here. All right, so the name of this article right here is from CNN, and we know CNN is on the sidewinder pretty much. But I can't argue with this right here. Why are we still using social security numbers as ID? All right. Let's get down to the article. The Equifax breach compromised the personal data of as many as 143 million Americans. Among the data exposed social security numbers. Criminals can use your social security number to steal your identity. They can open bank accounts and credit cards or apply for a loan. Hackers can also get a hold of your tax refund, get medical treatment under your name also. In recent years, SSNs were exposed when fraudsters hacked the U.S. Postal Service, a hospital network, and Anthem Health Insurance. The data breaches beg the question, why are we still using the social security numbers to identify ourselves? Social security numbers were first issued in 1936. Now, interesting. That was 3 years after the Federal Reserve Act was passed and the gold and silver was pulled out of the American economy. So 3 years after that, social security numbers were put in place, which basically transformed people from the people doing business to U.S. citizens, 14th Amendment citizens operating in commerce, aka the all caps name, pretty much. I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. For the sole purpose of tracking the earnings history of workers for benefits, according to the Social Security Administration. Until 1972, the bottom of the card said, for Social Security purposes, not for identification. What's interesting about that is, it was a little after that because the one my Ensley just has actually says, do not use for identification purposes. Very interesting. It wasn't even 1972. It was a little bit after that as far. No, check this out. I actually did some research too online, and the newer ones don't say, basically don't use this for identification purposes at all. They don't even say it on the bottom of there anymore. So it's like it's become accepted that people are using this, even though they're not supposed to be using it for identification. All right. But social security numbers have since become a key method of ID. That's a problem. It was the one unique piece of information that would identify every consumer individually. Neil O'Farrell, executive director of Identity Theft Council, told CNN Tech. So if not social security numbers, what are the alternatives? A national identification number is one idea that's been floated. Here we go with the social credit score system. However, this would be a huge undertaking for the U.S. government, and that number could get hacked as well, according to experts. Exactly. It doesn't matter if it's a new social security number or a new national identification system. Whatever the identifier is, it's still going to be the thing the hackers are going after. Said Russell Van Tuyl, managing consultant of security assessments and Sword and Shield Enterprise Security. So biometric identifiers such as fingerprints, iris scans, voice and facial recognition, and potential alternatives. But you already heard about what the IRS is trying to do with their website. Now I heard the pushback they got was tremendous. So they decided to not go with the facial recognition program on their website. But if they're already talking about implementing something like that and there was pushback, you can best believe they're gonna keep trying to spoon feed little bits of that shit till they actually get it all through the door and they can administer something of this nature. But I digress. We recently used our fingerprints to unlock our smartphones, not this guy. Meanwhile, iris scans and facial recognitions are also available on some phones. No, thank you. And many consumers talk to voice assistants like Alexa and Siri. No, thank you. Biometrics is much more available than it was 10 years ago because of mobile, said Justin Oberman, a former Transportation Security Administration executive, former VP of Identity Strategy and SureID. Now, look, these are all methods of invading privacy. That's all this shit basically is. So we start talking about social security numbers and stuff like that. They're replacing social security numbers with all these other things because they're trying to basically link your body to the surety. So when they put your body or such in a digital form, they'll basically say it's the same thing as when somebody, a police officer says, he points to your ID and says, "Is this you?" So like, are you a fucking ID or are you a man? Are you a fucking ID or are you a woman? It's very simple. But yeah, it's basically going to take and make a digital image of you. And they were also talking about important consciousness into digital makeups of a person, basically. So they're literally talking about making like the whole Black Mirror episode where you go to a museum and memories are basically trapped inside of like a exhibit or something like that. And it's like a living being that's artificial inside the exhibit with the memories of the living man. That's the craziness of where science is going. But I'm jumping ahead of myself here. If everyone was using fingerprints, no one would care about social security numbers anymore. But all of this is going to take time, he said. All right. Some companies and countries are already using biometrics like voice identification. Oh, thank you. For example, the global bank HSBC launched a security technology called Voice ID last year. That's crazy. I didn't know about that. Customers who are using banking services over the phone can register their voice with the company. The technology analyzes more than 100 behavioral and physical voice characteristics to identify and authenticate the customer. It's available in English, Spanish, Cantonese, and Mandarin. Meanwhile, Australia's Department of Human Services and Taxation Office allows people to create a voice print to identify themselves when they call. So Australia's doing that shit too, but we can easily see why Australia is doing it with the condition Australia's in right now. Now the people are revolting and standing up and trying to take their freedom back. But to be honest, man, the point you give up all your arms, man, that's the point you start to become, you start to be have a serious problem, put it that way. But 100%, man, it's an invasion of privacy. The UK's Tax Customs Authority also introduced tech this year that recognizes a person's voice over the phone. Well, a person doesn't have a voice, but I get what they're saying. All right, so there's a whole article about this right here. All right, and it tells you what the disadvantages are, the different types of technology that were pulled up, and as far as the Equifax breach happened, that's all the more reason we should not be effing with the social security number. Like, yo, you should be backing away from that now that you have the knowledge to move such. So, 42 United States Code 408 Section A, subsection 8, I believe it is. That basically makes it a felony for anyone to ask for a social security number. I've actually been in a situation where I've talked to a creditor, and I basically was trying to get like a business thing going basically with him. So I'm like, all right, let me fill out this application basically, and I'll give them an EIN or whatever. So I did that. And they checked the credit of the EIN. The EIN credit was good. I put it in place of the social whatever. So I actually talked to the people, and they were like, yeah, well, something's going on with your social security number. It was like, can you send over a copy of your social security card? I said, no, I can't. And the lady was like, well, why not? I said, well, it says right on the social security number, social security card, you're not supposed to use this number or card for identification. So no, I cannot send it to you. Furthermore, 42 USC 40888 makes it a felony for you to even ask me for a social security number on an application or such. So she was like, well, that's the way we always do it. So I said, well, ma'am, are you telling me that you always commit fraud? Are you always committing felonies at your job? Is that what you're telling me? So she puts the manager on the phone, as you can imagine, because she pulled up the code on her computer. And she was like, wow, I've never seen this before. I was like, yeah, exactly. So just because you don't know about something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So, you start putting these creditor people on ice when you do stuff like that. So this dude called back. Manager called me back. And keep in mind, this process went over a course of 4 weeks, and they didn't have a problem. I'm gonna tell you when they had a problem. They had a problem when I sent my what was it? My passport card in. They were wondering why I didn't have a driver's license. I said I don't need a driver's license. It was like, okay. Well, is there a way that we can verify this is you? I said, well, what do you need? And they were like, is there a way you can give me? I forgot what they had asked for after. There was something else they had asked for. But I pretty much gave them everything they asked for, but they were asking for a social. I said, well, I'm not using a social because it's actually a felony for you to even ask me for a social. And I'm not even supposed to be giving you a social at all. That's privacy breach. There was an Equifax breach and all that stuff. So why the hell would I be giving you that information? So again, 3 weeks later, manager called me and he's like, yeah, my assistant told me that you were asking about getting a loan, a business loan. So I said, yeah. So what's going on with it? The credit is good. Y'all saw the credit is there. I sent y'all everything else y'all needed. Y'all asked for all that stuff. So what's the holdup? And he's like, yeah. Well, I don't know if we can complete the process at this time because loans are only for U.S. citizens. I said, oh, really? So you're telling me because I'm not a U.S. citizen, you can't give me a loan. So what you're saying is you're discriminating on me because of because of my nationality status. The hole just kept getting dug deeper and deeper. Like, yo, just at some point you just gotta stop because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And you're gonna get yourself in trouble. So they already asked for the Social Security. I was already told because I wasn't a U.S. citizen, I couldn't get a loan. So like these creditors, they don't know the law. They don't know what they're talking about. And this wasn't even the bank itself I was speaking to. This was an in-between, like a go-between, a middleman type deal. As if you know, the banks don't usually deal with people directly. They want to go through a middleman. So they want the middleman to do all the dirty work so that everything else can be, can be what it is. They can try to get away with as much fraud as they can. So long story short, this dude started capping. He was like, yeah, well, I'm about to break up with my wife and I honestly don't have a lot of money. I don't know what you want me to do. We're about to close the business. As a matter of fact, we're probably gonna just close the business next week. Like he started making up all kinds of excuses. It was insane, The business was called what was it? I think it was like Clear Skies Capital or something like that. It was one of the businesses. But yeah, so these people, man, like these people out here just asking for information that they know. Well, I'm not even gonna say they know, but they're asking for information they don't even know they're not supposed to be asking for. And this is because it's become so accepted for people to use that as a form of identification. But see, the problem is when you dishonor yourself by using that number to identify yourself, you pretty much accept anything that comes with it. So I would go as far as to say if it tells you right on the card not to use it and you go around using it anyway, and you are knee deep in debt, that's probably something that you pretty much earned. And I'm gonna leave it there. So I mean, try to stop using that social as fast as you can, because we already know what time they on, right? All right, so let's get up out of here. We got some more ground to cover. Check the comments here. All right, where we at? What up, Cash? What's going on with you? 31 United States Code 3124A and 18 I think that says USC. Obligation of other security of the US. Yeah. But I don't even think these people can't really be classified as the US. I mean, but yeah, once someone's given the Social Security number, they are basically pretty much the trustee. I do get that. But I mean, to me, I keep it simple. It says don't use the damn number, so I'm not gonna give you the goddamn number. You know what I mean? So don't ask me for it. And when you go to get a driver's license and all that shit, and they ask you for a Social Security card, you got to bring your Social Security card. Like, how the fuck are you asking me for a Social Security card when you're not even supposed to be asking for that information? You know what I mean? Then they want to ask you for tax information and stuff like that. Oh, well, you can bring a copy of your last income tax or whatever that you filed or something like that. That kind of shit. That's what they want. They want to see that number though. They try to get around asking you for the number. Dark matter. They play dumb, hoping the woman don't know the law. Yeah, that dude almost pissed his pants when I got on the phone with him. He was stuttering and stammering. Well, yeah, I'm about to divorce my wife. I got 5 kids. I really can't afford a lawsuit, or yeah, I really don't want to go to jail. Look, I don't. We don't know. We're just middlemen. We don't know anything about any of this stuff, And I might lose my house soon. I'm not making enough money around here. Our business has been hurting because of the whole COVID thing. He just started coming up with excuse after excuse, and it was funny to me because I'm basically putting them on ice because I want to see how they gonna skate. You feel me? And absolutely, they weren't they had no skating skills. Dude was slipping and sliding all over the rig. It was insane, man, but it was funny. But yeah, they hope you don't know the law. Exactly. My man is 100% right. I'm going to get ready to build a claim that biometrics are prostitution. Holy shit. I'm going to tell you, man, biometrics are definitely some form of pimping. Like, real talk. Like, yo, let me get your information. Let me sell your information out to these third-party companies for like $1,000 or something like that, and let them sell your information to the dark web. You know what I mean? All that shit, man. It's crazy. Don't even goddamn use a number. So the problem with that is a lot of people say, well, what can I do? Well, look, there's ways around that, man. EINs can be used. You know what I mean? So actually, one of my colleagues that said it was a racist thing, but I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But I didn't have a problem until after I sent them that passport card. Who knows, man? Who knows? I think it was more so that they wanted to get that social because you know how they work with them socials. They got that account, that TVA account they can access as basically trustees and get that money up out of there and shit. That's how that shit basically work. They get a piece of the action. John Mello said, stop using the social security number. Absolutely. You got to sell your body for commerce. What else would it be? Yeah. Yep. What up, Nicole? What's good with you? All right, let me get on to the next one, man. We got a lot of ground to cover. What did he say? He said, Tim said, you should have told him to join the lifestyle and told him to get out the mud hole and come in the grass. I'll be honest with you, man. I would go as far as to say people involved in that kind of business, their energy is not right. If you're involved in deception, even if you ain't aware of what you're doing, even if you ain't aware of what you're doing exactly, that's still like a form of deception, and the energy ain't right, So like, I let them to the grass, but I ain't forced them to eat. So I showed them what time it was. I said, look, this is the United States. UCC 9-307 says that the United States is in Washington, D.C., basically. Then I told them about the nationality thing. Told them about that, basically. Pretty much everything. So she was like, well, where are you from? I said, well, I'm from Maryland. She says, well, that would make you a U.S. citizen. I said, no, it doesn't, man. And please do not slander me. Don't do that. Don't speak on stuff you don't know about, please. You'd be better off just handing the phone to a plant. Don't start that. All right, let me get busy here. Okay, what's next? All right, man. We're gonna get to the heavy stuff. Trust me. The Russia thing, we're gonna get to all that. Trust me, I got y'all. All right, now look at this. And I told y'all we were getting busy with these mofos and kicking ass and getting them bond numbers and telling them mofos we're gonna put a claim on their asses, right? Now check this shit out. Now this is NBC. Now we all know these people are all in bed, and there's all pretty much a big thing basically to stomp on your neck and keep you believing that you belong underneath their feet, so you don't actually get the knowledge to rise up and stand up. But yo, check this out. Paper terrorism. Parents Against Mass Mandates bombard school districts with sham legal claims. A group called Bonds for the Win is organizing parents to file claims against school districts' insurance policies, taking a page from the sovereign citizen playbook. I tell you, man, it never ends, bro. It never ends. Look at the little picture of the little artists they got. Little goddamn yuppie liberal artists they probably got to paint this joint or whatever he did. Colored pencils or crayons, whatever he used. And a bunch of paperwork, and they got to put the token black teacher in the front, and then the white guy in the back. Oh my gosh! All right, so check this out. They say Jill Griffin had a panic on her hands. Teachers and staff members of her school in Bethalto, Illinois, a small town outside of St. Louis, were suddenly worried that they would not be paid. They had seen videos posted online in which a parent who objected to the district COVID's mask mandate said that she had filed a claim against the district's insurance, causing the schools to lose all federal funding. That's what she said. Griffin, the Bethalto school superintendent, has spent weeks dealing with the fallout. You have district officials who are spending time on things like this rather than on what needs to be spending time on. Yeah, I guess that's like sniffing cocaine off of some hooker's ass and buying property somewhere in Maui. I don't know what is important to those district officials because it damn sure ain't people's safety. Making sure that our classrooms are covered right now in the middle of a pandemic, Griffin said. Right? The parents' claims were baseless. She had no ability to use the mask mandate to file a claim against the district's insurance policy or affect its federal funding in any way. And we know that's not true, but we'll continue. But the scare tactic has become a familiar one. A growing number of school districts across the country are facing similar challenges from parent activists who have adopted strategies and language that are well known to law enforcement and extremism experts who deal with far-right sovereign citizen groups in the U.S. Southern Poverty Law Center. I can't stand that fucking website. An anti-defamation league called it paper terrorism. The parent strategy is simple. Try to use obscure and often inapplicable legal claims to force a school district to make a policy change. And while the claims have no legal standing, they have been effective at spreading confusion and wasting school districts' resources, even though the paperwork doesn't require a formal legal response. The parents and activists have organized through a new group called Bonds for the Win, which is named for a financial instrument at the heart of a pseudo-legal effort. The group's members have spent the past 2 months bombarding school administrators with meritless claims over COVID policies and diversity initiatives. These claims allege that the district have broken the law and therefore owe the parents money through what they call surety bonds, which government agencies often carry liability insurance. So it's like we said, they all had bonds, so they came out and admitted that. So there is no hiding the fact that they had bonds. A lot of these people try to say, oh, we don't have bonds. We don't have surety. What is a bond? We don't know what that is. They try to cap and say they don't have it, but they didn't already put themselves out there, which, if anything, this article made it worse because they already basically showed that the technique is taking a toll and people are flipping over the mandates left and right because they're afraid. And what the problem is, the people are putting them on a back tread. So now they're basically moonwalking all the way back. As a result, mandates get lifted and stuff like that. People claiming victory and everything, which is cool. I mean, at the end of the day, the masks don't do shit. You can look on any one of them surgical masks that they make, and they will say on the back of those masks, this does not protect you from the C19. It says right on the back of the masks. People don't read, so people don't see it. And people are allowed to wear these stupid ass masks or tell people to wear these stupid ass masks to school and stuff like that, you know. But anyway, we all know what's up. Bonds for the Win's claims are not legitimate, according to education officials, insurance companies, and the FBI. But even though the group has won no legal battles and has already celebrated some successes in overwhelming districts with paperwork, intimidating local officials, and disrupting school board members meetings. There's a lot of misunderstanding and misinterpretation of the purpose of a local school governing board, said Julie Sianowski. Sheesh. President of the Scottsdale Unified Governing Board in Arizona, which was one of Bonds for the Win's first targets. It's interesting. Arizona was the focal point for that. That's crazy. They got busy over there. I do believe it has some kind of central meeting point for the people to share their grievances, not specifically about our district. It's almost like living in a reality TV show when you're experiencing it. Yeah, no. How about the kids that got to wear those stupid ass masks and shit like that and got to goddamn suffer from acne and stuff like that because the mask is putting so many germs back in their face because it's unsanitary as fuck. How about that? But no, let's not talk about that though. In at least 14 states, Bonds for the Win activists attempted to serve sham paperwork to school districts in several cases, causing commotions and required police intervention. That's bullshit because the police intervention was just basically them crying and whining about, hey, your turn to talk is finished. You cut your mic off. You can't talk anymore because they give you like 3 minutes, I think, to talk or something. And they can't wait for that 3 minutes to be over. They even try to shut them off earlier than that sometimes. I've seen it happen, which is unconstitutional as fuck because you got the First Amendment. And the number of people joining their cause is quickly growing as misinformation about the strategy's effectiveness circulates. If it wasn't effective, they wouldn't be worried. And they wouldn't be flipping no mandates over if it wasn't effective. So that's bullshit. That's cat. On the chat telegram, there were activists where the activists organized. Bonds for the Win main channel grew from 700 to nearly 20,000 in the past month. Its members focus on schools, but they also have served paperwork to a handful of county commissioners. Governor Hogan's ass is in hot water. We're going to talk about that later. And discuss plans to go after local officials, judges, and sheriffs with similar claims. Bonds for the Win did not respond to requests for comment. All right, so y'all can read some more of this if y'all want to. But it's basically saying that, we getting our asses kicked, so we need to put some shit out like the Southern Poverty Law Center or something like that, which is basically all I'm gonna say about that is the juice is loose. All right, that's all I'm gonna say about that. The juice is loose. When people start talking about the juice, that shit disappears. Facts. That's what it is. The juice is loose. So yeah, as far as that goes, I agree with Yusuf L. You feel me? 100%. But yeah, so look, motherfuckers is winning. The people winning right now. They kicking that ass. They're hurting. You know what I mean? They're flipping over these mandates. Governor Hogan's ass is in some hot water right now. They talking about, listen, Governor Hogan was talking about possibly running for Senate. And if y'all don't know who Governor Hogan is, he's the slime ball who's basically in charge of Maryland. So he was gung-ho about this whole mask situation and these mandates and stuff like that. And then he started to get pushback. And he started to lift his little hand up like, oh, I can't force anybody to wear a mask and such and such. It's too late, bro. So now this dude is talking about not running for senator anymore. He already said he ain't running for senator. Goddamn right, you ain't running for senator. You toasted your own ass with this whole plan. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. This pandemic exposed the fraud. All right, that shit exposed the fraud horribly. So if you was involved in that shit and you was gung ho, like, yo, we need to take this federal money and we need to tell all these kids to put masks on and stand 6 feet from each other. You can't walk nowhere without a mask on, and we're gonna take all this federal cheese. There's 26, what is it? I think each district got like $26 million or something crazy like that. We're gonna take all this cheese, we're gonna buy vacation homes, and we're gonna get busy out here. We're gonna buy our whole restaurants and we're gonna go in there with our families with no masks on while all these stupid ass people wearing masks to go in restaurants closing because people ain't coming in. Yo, we gonna buy restaurants, rent them out and shit to ourselves. We gonna go in there with no masks on. We gonna have dinner at the restaurant all to ourselves. This is the kind of shit they was doing, man, the whole time, bro. And all these politicians got caught with their hands in the cookie jar. I think Pelosi got caught, that weird ass lady that said she was a Native American and she got the short hair, the weird lady that twitches her neck when she talks. She got caught. Hogan got caught. It was a bunch of, man, listen, bro, the list is endless on how many politicians got caught without masks and having dinner and stuff with their families when they were telling people to stay home and stay 6 feet away. Shit. You can look at the Super Bowl and see that, man. Facts. But yeah, it goes deep, man. Corruption goes deep. Absolutely. So now they're getting their asses kicked. And I always say, bro, like when it comes to that corruption shit, think of it like a seesaw, all right? The universe is always going to balance itself out. If you got one 500-pound elephant that lands right here on this bitch and the end flies up real fast, goddamn, it's a 500-pound elephant on this bad boy, man. Let me tell you something. When something heavier drops on the other side, that elephant's going to go goddamn flying. And the universe will balance itself out. So something heavy is going to drop. Facts. You had the control that long, it's only a matter of time before the scales tip back the other way. The harder you ring that bad boy in, the harder that the backlash is going to be. That's the way the universe works. So remember that. All right, man, we got people. Y'all getting busy in the chat room. Sheesh. All right, hold on. Damn, I missed a lot of comments. All right. Dark Man says the right to privacy is a personal and fundamental right protected by the Constitution of the United States. Facts. Agreed. You may maintain in your records only such information about an individual as is relevant and necessary to accomplish a purpose required by a statute or executive order of the President of the United States. Okay. Section 7 of the Privacy Act 1974 specifically provides that it shall be unlawful for any federal, state, or local government agency to deny any individual any right, benefit, or privilege by law because of such individual refuses to close. Yo, how about that? How about that? How about that? How about that? Hey, I'm about to write that down. You sure the Patriot Act didn't override that though? Not that these people could probably use that, but I'm just curious to know because that might be information that's important to have. You know what I mean? I'm writing that down though. That's a good one. 1974. All right, bet. Good looking out, Dark Matter. Thank you, man. Or woman or whoever you are. I can't tell. Right of privacy is a personal right designed to protect persons from unwanted disclosure of personal information. Yep. Right of privacy. Yes, sir. I agree with that 100%. Author from LA, look who wrote the article. Yeah, of course it was a liberal. I mean, we like I said, it was a liberal yuppie. We already know what time it is, man. Anybody who wrote that article is either going to be from New York, California. And this is not no shot at the states themselves, but y'all got a heavy liberal problem in powerful pockets of them states. All right. Y'all got a heavy liberal problem. So y'all gotta we gotta keep that in mind when we start discussing stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. Dude trying to get a promotion or something. The 1976 Amendment to the Social Security Act codified at 42 USC Section 301, 405 C2 1 3 states that there are only 4 instances where Social Security account numbers may be demanded. These are for tax matters, to receive public assistance, to obtain and use a driver's license, to register a motor vehicle. Got you. Okay. Okay. So those are the 4 instances where they can be used officially. So he got the sauce right there. So there you have it. So if you plan on doing any of those things right there, which is taxes, public assistance, driver's license, and a motor vehicle, then that's what it should be right there. You got to use a social. I hear the bonds paid off. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they're making payments like it's just like having car insurance. All right. So when you got a car and you got insurance just in case somebody hit you or you hit somebody or something like that so they can cover the damage, it's the same type of thing. Everybody takes a percentage off of their paycheck to pay for the policy. So no, I doubt it's paid off. If they work for the public, they have to be bonded. Exactly. Exactly. I am competent natural man if a woman indicates such a natural person that my words are never to be construed liberally but contextually. Okay. That only law shall apply to my person. That the only law that shall apply to my person is the principles of the golden rule, otherwise known as the common law. Facts. As a state national, I filled a revocation of signature and other documents to withdraw from property taxes. So I requested the county's clerk bond. He sent it to me. I'm going to file a claim. That's badass. Copy and paste. My man. Man said, copy and paste that bad boy. Facts. Ain't a federal violation of notary public not recording people's documents. Sure, feel like it is. I don't know. I don't know that offhand. I'm not sure. I know the notary public will definitely they'll notarize your documents and they don't even have to read them as fact because they just need to be there to know that you sign them. But I'm not sure if they have to. I'm not sure that they have to have a copy of them or something like that. Recording your document. Are you talking about like just recording the fact of what it was that you had them notarized? Yeah, they can write down the title and stuff like that. Definitely. Yeah, they'll have you sign it and everything. But as far as making a copy of it, no, I doubt that. I don't think so. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, look, so this is gonna be real quick right here. If you guys are looking for the dictionary of banking terms, Barron's Business Dictionaries, this might be very helpful for you guys. I plan to get this as soon as I get some extra cheese in my pocket. Got a bunch of stuff I'm doing right now. Can't spare the $11. So as soon as I am able to do that, I'll be able to grab that bad boy and we can chop that fable. But yeah, it's on Amazon if you're looking to get it. It's the paperback. It's $11.29. So you can grab that up for yourself. Very quick piece of information there for you guys. So you can write that down. Yes, sir. All right. Let's continue. Shall we? Shall we continue? All right. So hold on. Now we're gonna look at that later on. I got so much stuff in there for you guys to look at. All right. So look, people have been telling me that they're having problems with submitting certain forms, that jobs aren't taking the forms. I've actually heard somebody got fired for trying to submit a W-8B in to their job. Um, they actually got fired the first day of orientation because they wouldn't fill out. I think it was a W-4 form or something like that. It was one of them forms basically they didn't want to fill out. They wanted to hand back a W-8B in. Well, check this out right here. This is on the I-9 form, just in case you're not familiar with what the I-9 form is. This is what non-U.S. persons, quote unquote, fill out pretty much. Now take a look right here. I showed you guys this form because I'm pretty sure you all know what the I-9 form is for. If you're a non-citizen national, you can actually fill out this form and it will not take out any social security or federal taxes from your paycheck. But check this out right here. This is the anti-discrimination notice. All right, right here, the little second sentence underneath. Start here. Now I'll read this word for word. It is illegal to discriminate against work authorized individuals. Employers cannot specify which documents an employee must present to establish employment and authorization and identity. The refusal to hire or continue to employ an individual because the documentation presented has a future expiration date may also constitute illegal discrimination. So there you have it. So if you try to submit a document, all right, like the WABN, and they're not trying to take it, and they try to say, look, well, you fired if you don't fill out this form right here. You basically show them this I-9 form and tell them to read the second sentence. Because that's absurd that somebody would even do that shit to you. It's just a saying. These people are so they got their heads buried so far in the goddamn matrix. There's no possible way they can see anything else. But when you put that law in front of their face, then they'll start changing their tune real fast. There's another form on here I wanted you guys to look at also. Hold on a sec. I just had that joint here. I want you guys to look at this form. Here it is right here. This is it right here. All right, so look, if that becomes a case where somebody won't take your form, where they're trying to basically fire you or something like that, and this is not, you guys know I don't give legal advice. I only give information. So if you guys want to use this information, I'm not responsible for how you use it. But I don't give legal advice. If you do need legal advice, you should seek an attorney. But I'm just giving you information I've stumbled across. So if that does happen, something you can do is this right here. You can fill this bad boy out. And this is the IRS complaint form pretty much. So if you're trying to fill out a form like a WABN or something like that, and they don't like the form you're filling out, they try to tell you, well, look, you can't work here if you don't do that. You can basically show them that I-9 form pretty much, and then you can fill this bad boy out. They continue to play hardball, and you can send this in. Or you can just show them, look, if you don't want to take the form, whatever like that, then I'll go ahead and we'll get busy with this form right here. And see if they don't change their tune. But yeah, there you have it. Interesting fact too. Look down at the address right here. It says 1111 Constitution. Now, anybody knows what the numbers 1111 signify pretty much. It's a very spiritual number, pretty much. It signifies you're heading in the right direction. And the street's called Constitution. So yeah, that's a great piece of information there for you guys. So please take that note. Please take note of that form. The form is called, let me read it off for you real quick again. It's called the IRS Internal Revenue Service Civil Rights Division Complaint Form. So you can basically fill that bad boy out, send it in, and let her rip. And then if you gotta leave that bitch, drop a grenade on the way out. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Not a literal grenade. I'm just talking about sending a form. If you got to go out, go ahead and drop the paperwork on their heads and walk out and let them deal with that shit. You feel me? Let them deal with that because that's absurd. Like people getting fired for wanting to keep their freaking money. That's absurd to me. Like, what are you talking about, man? That don't make no goddamn sense to me. Stuff like that irritates me, man, because it's not right. You don't even have the moral high ground if you're doing that to people. You know what I mean? All right, so Bad Wolf actually shared this before. I want you guys to know about it. Actually, this is for Maryland. If you guys, all right, so yeah, if you guys are in Maryland, right? If anybody's in Maryland who's watching, some people are in Maryland. It's always helpful to go right here to this website, the comptroller's office, and you can actually put in the your name, pretty much your family name, and then your given name there, which they call a last name and a first name, and then you can hit the search button, right? And you can actually see if you have anything that's called unclaimed property. Now, what happens is if you have a pay, let's say you have a check or something like that, and you move, right? And the people send it back, like, yo, this isn't my mail. This guy doesn't live here anymore. And they send it back to the comptroller or whatever. Comptroller keeps the mail, which can be like checks or something like that, or all kinds of stuff, man. If you have that mail that's there and it's not claimed, pretty much it'll go with the comptroller. If you go to this website right here, I'm gonna show you in a second, and you look for any items that might be held at your comptroller's office, pretty much you can retrieve that stuff with just providing like your identification. So yeah, that's that's actually something you can look into. Now let me show you guys the website you can go to because that was a Maryland website. Let me show you the overall website you can go to find out if you have some kind of check there for you guys. Always good to know, man. And it's free to look, so I don't see why you wouldn't want to. But yo, shout out to Bad Wolf because he actually put me on with this on one of his videos. But I think more people need to see about this right here. All right. Here it is right here. The website is called missingmoney.com. You can go right to the website right now on your cell phone, or you can go right to your computer or something and go to the website, right? Go right there and put your name right in here or business there your dad might have had, or your great granddad might have had that doesn't exist anymore or something, or if they changed the EINs or something like that. Put any of that stuff in here, or anybody you know, you can put their name in there. And if there's something there that's owed to them, there might be a fucking $30,000 check waiting for them. You know, go look for it, go find it, man. Go find that stuff for people. That way they can go claim it, man. We all about helping people over here and making sure people live a better life. If you got some extra cheese in your pocket, that's always a good thing. So go check that out, fellas and ladies. See if you have some money lying around waiting for you. It's possible. Anything's possible, I guess, right? When it comes to that. All right. I mean, William says first you get the bond and send a letter of intent. If they don't give you remedy, then you file a claim against their bond. Yes, sir. I'm very familiar with that thing. Let's just say I'm doing a battle right now with the Department of Motor Vehicles, so I'm very familiar with that technique. Thanks, though, Will. Do you have to tell Social Security Administration you don't want to use the Social Security number anymore before submitting the WA to employer? Well, here's the thing about that. Like, I actually never called the Social Security Administration to tell them I don't want to use it anymore. Um, and it says right on the back of the card, it don't even belong to you. That belongs to them. That's their shit. That ain't even yours. So, like, you know, and interestingly enough, it says on the back of the Social Security card, if you find this it doesn't belong to you, you know, send it back. So what if it was a situation where, like, yo, when you got it, you were supposed to send it back, and the reason why we're going through all this shit is because everybody kept it. Nobody wants to read the back of the card where it says, you know, if you have this and it's not yours, please send it back because the Social Security card is not yours. It's federal property. But yeah, I would say what Yusuf L basically said when he called in, they told him that they wouldn't rescind the number, just basically stop using the number. And he was saying after 2 years, if you don't use a number, it becomes only usable for discharge of debt. You know, by then you should have your big boy pants on to be using the EIN. Dark Matter says 6.5 duress, coercion, or compulsion and legal excuse. What are we talking about here, Dark? You jumped. I think you might have jumped on. What are we talking about? Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much. I'll use it. Yeah, appreciate any donations you guys want to send my way. I greatly appreciate them. Thank you guys. You guys definitely keep me going. You guys are the reason I jump on here and drop bars every Sunday or whatever I can. Let's continue, shall we? All right. So this video I want to show you guys. I meant to show you this last week, but we're gonna jump over a little bit into hold on. There it is. Into a Moorish consul general of Morocco getting pulled over and how he handled his business. Now, I have not watched this video yet, so this is going to be the first time I'm watching it too. So here we go. Actually, hold on. Let me make sure it's not no damn ads playing. Ah, they pulled the video. How about that? They pulled the video. He got busy. They pulled the video, man. Oh, that sucks. Hey, they pulled the video, man. I actually got like maybe 5 minutes through it, but I never finished it. So the video is about 25 minutes long. So I'm like, yeah, I'll watch this with you guys. But damn, they went ahead and pulled the video. That's crazy. But yeah. Apparently on Instagram, they were saying the cop told him, "Well, you sure know your stuff, don't you?" And left him alone. But damn, they pulling videos, bro. Okay, no problem, man. We're gonna continue. Shall we continue? All right. Okay. What's next? What's next? What's next? I'm trying to present you guys the right stuff at the right time. All right, look at this right here. I actually saw this on Unanswered Universe. And this is interesting because the whole sun thing, you know what I mean? The whole debacle with where the sun and the moon are. We already know the moon's in the Earth's atmosphere. They admitted that in 2018. Scientists came out and say that they've known that the sun was in the Earth's atmosphere since like 1997. I detest that they've known about it probably since the 1700s. Actually, probably before that, because they have access to all the stuff the ancients used to use, and all the people who actually scoured the planet before them and own the property before them. So I would go as far as to say it's before that. But in any case, let's take a look at what they got to say here. Why is that not playing? Am I tripping here? Hold on. Well, that's odd. They pulled all the sound off of here. It was a whole video before. Let me reboot it. Hold on. I'll reboot it. See if that works. There we go.
So, this is a part 2 to our localized sun clip. Now, this video is sped up over a period of time. This is why you see the sun moving at such a fast rate. So, what do you see here? I'll tell you what I see. I see the sun setting, going down. This video is sped up. I see clouds in front of the sun, but then I also see clouds behind the sun. To me, this doesn't make sense if the sun is 92 million miles away from our Earth. What do you think? I know some of you aren't going to get this. Leave it in the comments. Unanswered Universe.
What blew me away is the fact that he said some of you aren't gonna get this. Like that's insane that you have to even assume that people wouldn't get something that clear cut. It don't get much clearer than that, He literally just showed you what was happening. It's very simple what's happening. The damn sun is inside the Earth's atmosphere. It's not outside the Earth's atmosphere as such or stratosphere like they say it is. The shit is inside of a dome, probably. More than likely. They lying about something. But yeah, there's no way clouds can be behind a freaking sun if it's 97 trillion miles away, or however much they lie they told you in school that far it was away. No, sir. The moon too. I actually saw myself. I put a post up 2 weeks ago where I looked outside up in the sky and there was actually clouds behind the moon. But I mean, they've already said that, oh yeah, the moon's inside the Earth's atmosphere. They've already said that. So I mean, that's not really a big thing in terms of knowing about that. But I mean, they came out and they admitted that they was caught anyway, I think, because people were starting to figure out what the fuck was going on. Same thing for the sun, though. It's the same shit, man. And people ask me, "Oh, what do you think about Jupiter and shit like that, man?" I don't even think it's a situation with them. Some bitches even planets. They probably like some kind of like projections or something like that, man. Like reality is probably being broadcasted to you for these different stars that are doing what they do. Even like what you can actually touch, the illusion might be put in front of you because of the way that those quote unquote stars are projecting towards you. That might even be what they are, man. Some kind of firmament or something like that. I go as far as to say, you know what I mean, as far as like a firmament or something, man. I don't even think the firmament just extends to just over top of the Helios, the model itself of Earth with like a disc and stuff like that, and Antarctica being the crust and the top of the dome meets Antarctica, nothing like that. I don't even think it's that simple for real. You know, if you ask me, I would, if I had to take a guess, I would say probably it might be a situation where yes, there is a dome, but as far as how far out the dome extends, man, who knows, bro? Like when you get past them, the ice and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised if there's whole other like civilizations and stuff like that, and organizations and all that, whatever you want to call them. They probably got whole kingdoms and stuff set up for different kinds of people that look like us and people that don't. They probably got far better technology than we have too. You know, if you ask me, anyway. But I like to talk, so that's what it is. But yeah, it's definitely not no goddamn no sphere. Yes, we being lied to about something. 100%. 1,000,000,000,000%. All right. I think I showed y'all the invoice joint. I already showed y'all the invoice. I showed y'all that 3 weeks ago. All right, so I was told to show you guys about this whitening soap real quick. Excuse me, whitening tooth soap. Now take a look right here. This is Dub whitening and remineralizing tooth soap. Now, somebody hit me on the email and they wanted me to show you guys this, and they said there's a lady that has this, and she has a website also, actually a YouTube channel. All right, so look, this is whitening and remineralizing tooth soap. It's called Dub because it's black. Okay. And toxin free, handcrafted and made with love. This powerfully effective tooth soap that will make your teeth feel smooth as silk. Say bye bye to stinky breath and feed your teeth minerals to help and seal cavities. So we talked about this last week where I don't rock with the fluoride toothpaste. And if you value your pineal gland, I would not mess with that either. As far as that goes, um, get yourself some toothpaste that's fluoride free, preferably some charcoal toothpaste is what I like. But you can go out there and check and see what you can find. Um, I found some good toothpaste as alternative to Crest and all that other crap. You got a lot of those trying to get on the bandwagon to make black toothpaste. Crest has been on that bullshit for so long. I wouldn't even trust them if they put out some charcoal toothpaste because fuck them. That's why. But yeah, as far as it goes, though, start looking at alternate alternatives. I like Hello toothpaste is real good. Only problem with Hello toothpaste is that stuff will stain your sink. Let me tell you something. The moment you brush your teeth and you spit the toothpaste in the sink, that shit is going to be everywhere. Like, it's like the symbiote suit or something like that for Spider-Man. It's just it flies everywhere, man. And you got to make sure you clean it all up because you'll come back like the next day and you'll see black dots on the mirror. Like, why? How the hell did that get all the way up here? But yeah, it's real messy. But I'll tell you what, man, it works wonders. It cleans your teeth really well. I haven't tried this specific brand right here, but I mean, if you guys are interested, go try it and let me know what you guys think. If so, I'll probably grab some myself if it's any good. But yes, sir. And we got comments again, man. Y'all talking tonight, ain't y'all? Hold on a sec. I got y'all. Let me get back to where we at. The book. All right, yeah. Let me check. Hold on. Well, good looking out, folks. Good looking out. Thank you so much, man. I'll be able to get that book now. Thank y'all, man. Y'all too good to me, man. I'm gonna go grab that book though. We're gonna grab it. And we're gonna chop this fable when we get on this channel. I'm gonna grab that when I get off here. Matter of fact, the banking dictionary. Yes, sir. I might even grab another book for real. Joseph knows, man. I'm knee deep in books right now. I got like 3 books I'm trying to knock out, man. I'm just doing too much research on other stuff. See, the thing about this kind of information, man, when you start to spread yourself out and like look at different things, like I might be reading a book about trust, and then I might start looking into taxes, and then I might start looking into stuff we're talking about now. Like it's just a vast amount of information. If you don't know how to swim, you could drown. So you got to be very slow with what you take in, and just come back to different stuff and stuff like that. Make sure you grasp it because you might find yourself reading it again if you don't completely grasp it and get it the first time you read it. But there's nothing wrong with reading it again if you need to. But you know, we want to try to maximize our time. You feel me? A man says, William F says, have you ever tried to use the passport card for sales tax exemption? The passport card can be used for sales tax exemption. We covered that last year, I believe. Yeah, it can be used for sales tax exemption when you are non-citizen national, foreign national, whatever you call yourself, American national. Yes, you may do so. The method for that is the lower, I think it's the lower right-hand number of the card. Yes, the lower right-hand number of the card. Some people have had success with the lower left-hand number too, with the letter in front of it. The lower right-hand number on the card will get your taxes removed. Yeah, I've seen it happen. So yeah, got to download the vids ASAP. What are we talking about here? Yeah, it must have been something I was talking about before. I'm late with these comments. Does anyone know of Form D4A? Can't say I'm familiar with Form D4A, Nathan. What's up, by the way? I use it to track the supply so far. Oh, yeah, you did? Did it worked out for you? Firmament. Yes, sir. Because he understands there's a lot of people still out here that sons in space. Yeah, that's probably why he said that. That's probably why he said that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think, a lot of these people that talk they agents, bro. And they might not even be agents because they ignorant. They probably like, they probably be part of some secret organization. They're like, look, we're gonna tell these motherfuckers this what it is. And anybody who disagrees, call them crazy, call them conspiracy theorists, call them sovereign citizens, just shame them and shit. That's what works. Insist upon your life that what they're saying is not true. Probably some kind of cult or something like that per town. I wouldn't be surprised at this point, man, because the ignorance is just too rampant. It's too many people that don't want to fucking learn. You know what I mean? It's too many of them. Like, there's no way everybody's this stupid. I know that's how y'all be feeling, because that's how I be feeling, man. Like, there's no way y'all this stupid, man. Ain't no way y'all this stupid, man. And the crazy thing is, man, like people be saying, like, oh, he got a degree, he got a degree. I think he knows. No, he doesn't, because I've seen a man with a college degree put a piece of pizza in a microwave, all right, wrapped in aluminum foil. So don't you tell me that a degree is the end all be all for intelligence. A degree just basically says you have the ability to regurgitate, memorize information, and to do as you're told well. That doesn't necessarily reflect intelligence to me. You know, you got people that got the jab and shit. They got college degrees and stuff. You know what I mean? So now I ain't trying to hear all that. Don't give me that. But I digress. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of people that still believe that nonsense. They spoke of the firmament in the 1958 encyclopedia. Did not know that. I know they spoke about it in the Bible and stuff like that. That's why they moved away from the Bible and the science, because if they started to go back to the Bible, then they would have to explain why the firmament is in the Bible and they're not telling us about it. Not to mention that the Nazi campaign through Operation Paperclip is basically running NASA, and all the money they get from all the federal taxes goes towards other shit like psychological operations. Whoops, did I say that out loud? Wow. Gotta stop saying shit like that. The CIA too. Spit it in the toilet. Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, yo. That shit's so messy. The hello toothpaste is so messy. It might still get on the ceiling if you spit it in the toilet. It's messy, bro. But I tell you what, though, it's very effective. So I mean, I don't mind the mess as much. Just make sure you thoroughly clean up and stuff. It's the number under the picture. Yeah, some people use the number under the picture, and some people use the lower right hand number. I don't know. I don't know. Check the video. Nikon 900 stars and planets. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at that. I'm gonna matter of fact, let me write it down because we got too much ground to cover today. I'm gonna write it down. But hold on, let me get rid of some of this other stuff out of here first. Bear with me for 1 second. We just got so much stuff. I gotta clear this. I gotta clear this loop right here. Hold on. There we go. Get that out of there. All right, cool. I got you. All right, let me write that down. Yeah, I saw a guy with a Nikon, one of those newer, I think the older Nikon cameras, one of the older ones. He said it had a better function on it to zoom in on stuff, and he was like basically just going in on how like you can stand at the edge of a beach and you can zoom in. I don't know if it's the same video you're talking about, but he was like, you can stand at the edge of a beach and you can zoom in. And like, if you look at it with the naked eye, it looks like things go over a horizon, like over like a arch or such, because he's saying that's the curve of the planet. But when this dude zoomed in with one of them cameras, bro, you could still see the boat. I was like, yo, get the fuck out of here. And it's gotta have something to do with heat or the water, magnet reflection from the water or something like it's gotta have something to do with all that, yo. But this dude zoomed in with that Nikon camera and he saw straight across the water. And there was other circumstances where people would stand at one island, like in Hawaii or something like that, and they would look at a distant island with the naked eye, and they wouldn't see the island. But when they zoom in, the blue would slowly start to disappear. The island would come into focus. Like, yo, if you got a good enough camera or vision, you can see straight across the whole entire plane. So that shit is not, it can't be a curve. That's impossible. How is that possible? They be like, oh, it's because uh it's not enough distance. Now I ain't trying to hear that, bro, because every time you say this, here's how it goes. All right, stand at the edge of the beach and look. Oh, it's because it's the curvature. All right, so you take a Nikon P900 camera and you see the damn ship, and then you see the ship, and then it becomes, oh, it's because it's not enough distance for the curve. Nah, bro, because they all just move the goalpost every time, and that's why I said it's a cult. It's a cult, yo. It's a cult. It's a cult, man. Every town has a cult. They probably meet like in a tunnel or some shit like that with torches and goddamn red robes or something and talk about how they gonna fuck over the public next. The same shit they did in Silent Hill 2, I think it was, or what was it? One of them Silent Hill video games. When the goddamn town was all in a cult, every adult was in a cult or something. Shit was wild, man. Parse your subjects, bro. I stay with 2 to 3. Hold on. I stay with 2 per 3 days and study and 1 for action. It helps me stay sharp and multi. Okay. Yeah, you're talking about the diversifying information. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey man, bruh. It's just so much stuff out there, man. And I'm one of them people that I love to read, I love to learn. I just love to know about stuff. I don't know. You know, I'm a knower of things. I like to be a knower of things. You know what I mean? It's just nothing fascinates me like information and stuff. Knowing stuff. Real stars and planets versus NASA images. Yeah. Operation Paperclip, man. Operation Paperclip. When all them Nazis left Nazi Germany to come over here and start the United States corporation because they didn't want all them scientists, some genius scientists, that Dr. Oppenheimer type scientists that made the hydrogen bomb and stuff like that. They didn't want them to go to waste. So he let the motherfuckers come over here and shit. CIA. They created NASA shortly after. Did you know the naval base in San Francisco, I believe it is shaped like a Nazi swastika? I think we talked about that before. Probably when I first started. Real stars and plans versus NASA images. Carl, there wasn't there. Carl there hasn't enough stars. He's talking about for the text. How many stars he got, Jimmy? He said he ain't got enough stars. People are well educated but lack intelligence. 6. That's facts. Yeah, how about that, man? because we were always raised to believe intelligence and education ran hand in hand, and it really doesn't, bro. Like you can literally be a genius idiot. Like you can know all the goddamn multiplication, the square root of this and that and the third and shit, all that stupid shit, multiplied by the quintillionth power type shit. You can do all that math in your head and still be dumb as a brick. You know what I mean? That's crazy to me. I never got that. Minors, infants, wars of the state. Facts. Just emailed you 1958 encyclopedia page. Okay. I'm gonna take a look at that, G. You know I always read your emails, man. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, well, yo, let me ask you a question, Jimmy. Real talk, yo. What did you have? What problem did you have with Spider Guy last week, yo? Jimmy was like, "Man, I'm out of here. Why the fuck is a Spider Man on my TV?" Yo, Jimmy dipped off fast as shit. He said, "What is this on my screen?" And pressed the little X button up in the corner of the window. It's the little red X button. He pressed that shit fast. Why you do that, man? What problem you got with Spider Guy, man? Most people with college degrees have no common sense. Yep. I feel you, bro. I work more laws than lawyers and they hate me for it. Let me tell you something. I train with lawyers, right? Every lawyer, I talked to a police officer the other day too, bro. Oh man, that conversation was gold. I was one of the top five political conversations I've ever had was with a police officer, and it was because it was just so many bombs were dropped. Like I can't believe he just fucking said that shit. Type bombs. I was like, yo, did he really just say that shit out loud? Man, listen, yo. Oh man. The lawyers can't stand talking to me because I asked them about United States code and shit. They were like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what that means. Like, they don't like talking to me because of that. And then the damn police officer I talked to a police officer who was an officer of PG County. And PG County is about an hour from here. And he was saying that he was very, of course, a back to blue type dude and shit. He looked like he was an indigenous dude for real. But he was like, yeah, man, you know, uh, I think this the defund the police thing is wrong, such and such, such and such. And then he goes on to say, what did he say? We start talking about the Second Amendment, yo. He was like, yo, we just start bringing up, color of law and shit. He was like, I'll be honest with you. I don't think any people should have guns but police. I'm like, yo, did this motherfucker really just say this shit? He literally just said that. He said that out his mouth with confidence and conviction. He literally said that. My man sat up there and said nobody should have guns but police. I was like, yo, this man took an oath. Yo, he took an oath. Yo, he took an oath. That man took an oath. What the hell, man? Like, oh man, so much craziness. He was just talking about how sometimes the police get a bad rap and stuff like that, which I get. There's some police out there that do good and some police that do follow the Constitution. But when you feel like you know better than the Constitution, you swore an oath to uphold, I don't think you should be a police officer until you get your shit together, And I think one of the main problems they have is training. Like, these police ain't taught nothing because they don't want them to know shit. They want them to be just smart enough to keep the machine going. Just smart enough to write tickets, never smart enough to ask why, And again, like Copper Moonshine still said, it's unfair for police because they've been horribly misguided. Like, yo, he was saying that he was like he was on a stop or something, and a guy had a concealed carry or something. He was like, he got to take the gun from him to make the scene safe. So effectively, you want to disarm this man. You want to ask the man up front if he has any weapons in his car, and he tells you yes, just to be honest with you. Then you want to violate his Second Amendment and Fourth Amendment right and take his goddamn arm from him and shit. Like, that's crazy to me, man. That's just fucking crazy. But these are the police officers that they have. They horribly mistrained, man. So I think training's a big problem. Training's a big issue. But at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own actions. And like what's his name? Guns and Gadgets said. He basically said every ticket and every arrest is at officer's discretion. So when they try to tell you I'm just doing my job, nah, they actually decided to do it because officer discretion becomes a heavy part of the job. So yeah, that was interesting when dude said that to me. I was like, yo, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. A man literally said nobody should have guns but police, and he took an oath to uphold the Constitution. Fuck me. Yo, fuck. God damn. He got 3 stars. I ain't gonna lie to you though, Jimmy. Some people with 3 stars get busy though, man. I know a guy that has 3 stars, man. And every time he get pulled over, they don't really give no shit. I think he got his car towed like twice out of the 20 times he's been pulled over. But he said the rest of the time they just let him go. Sometimes they give him tickets, but he don't go to court and shit, and the tickets just go away. But he don't have a license though. His license has been expired since 2019. They told them germs. They told them germs to get down and lay down. What we talking about, man? That sounded funny as hell. I seen the video of the Nazis had blueprints and diagrams all in the building, flying saucers. Yeah, I saw that. I actually saw that. I saw one where Hitler was shaking the alien's hand, but I didn't believe that shit. I thought that might have been photoshopped. I don't know about that. If there is a video that exists like that, or there's a picture like that, you won't see it. That's just probably in the archives of Area 51 somewhere. My wife's husband is a teacher. New husband's a teacher. He did not know how to paint a ceiling. Fucking, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, check this out, man. My damn chair, my goddamn show chair broke that I sit in. I had to use a piece of wood from out in the wild to fix it. Now, look, every man, if y'all young and y'all watching this video, because I know I got a lot of young followers that look up to me and stuff like that, which is cool. I try to be a role model to you guys as much as possible for positivity. What I would say to you guys is, if you a man and you have your own spot or something like that, you should have tools in your spot. You should have at least a set of screwdrivers, um, like a little handy flip up pocket knife type joint that has like a corkscrew and a scissors in it and stuff like a Swiss Army knife type deal. Have one of those. Um, Make sure you have like a power gun, like electrical power gun for like Phillips screwdrivers and flatheads and stuff, so you can fix stuff around the house, man. Get yourself a little kit from MIT. You can get like an MIT kit for like $20, and it's got a bunch of little drill bits in it that you can put on your electric gun. And when stuff breaks around the house, you can fix it. So my chair broke, man. It's like a metal bolt had like, cause I'm fat as hell, so when I sit down and shit, I sit down hard. Let's say I flop in my chair, and it gave way. So I had to go outside, and I got a piece of wood, and I fixed the chair with a little saw that was attached to my Swiss Army knife. I had a little saw in there. I sawed a piece of wood off, and then I drilled a hole in the wood with what is it, a Phillips nail, or excuse me, a Phillips screw. It looked like it was about 2 inches long. A Phillips screw, and drilled the hole right through that bad boy and secured the chair. Now I can use it. It's pretty awesome. But yo, be handy, please. Know how to use stuff and stuff like that. Be handy around the house. He's an ex-wife. Oh shit. Nobody with the cops with bangers. Yeah, exactly. Like, yo, what are you talking about, bro? So what you're telling me is y'all want more power. Y'all already got the goddamn United States corporation backing you. Y'all telling me y'all want more power? Nah, bro. If anything, y'all need less power. For real. Y'all need to be the ones with the goddamn smart guns for real. So, y'all need to be the ones with the smart guns for real like that, man. Because y'all be on some bullshit sometimes. 80% lower, build your own. Facts. Spider guy does whatever a spider guy does. Can he swing from a web? No, he can't. He's a pig. Look out, he's what the fuck? Why you being an asshole, man? Don't say he's a pig. He's a that dude works in medical, I think. Yo, bro, is that UCC process real? What are we talking about? What UCC process you talking about, man? 4 stars. 4 star squad. What up? What up, Cash? Cash Luciano. That's a hard ass name. My man's name is Cash Luciano. That sounds like a mobster. That sounds like a dude who was a mob boss that comes in the casino and gives out $100 bills, and everybody loves to have him around. That's a hard ass name. Oh yeah. All right. Look. So let's get to this shit, man. Let's get to the sauce for real. All right. Let's get to the sauce. So how do y'all feel about this whole Russia situation, man? How y'all feel about this? Y'all think I know? I already know what y'all think, y'all. I'm just just know I'm with y'all for the most part. But let's start throwing shit out there, man. How you feel about it? What's up? What's good? How much of this shit is fabricated? How much is real? What's really happening? I've been hearing so many stories. I done heard stories that Putin is blowing up COVID labs, that COVID was being manufactured at. I done heard stories about Putin destroying the deep state's operating centers or something like, or child trafficking centers. I done heard Putin's a terrorist. I done heard all kinds of shit. So, what do y'all think, man? I personally think this shit is a psyop because they don't want people to know that people are getting them teachers' bonds and they coming for them officials next and next. That's what I think it is. That's what I think it is. I think with a lot of these mayors on the chopping block because they reacted so poorly to this COVID thing and sold the people out, I think the people figured out how to yank their chains back and they needed a way to distract everybody. I think that's what it is, honestly. Now you can say what you want about Putin destroying a lab or the deep state getting their lab destroyed and shit like that. I don't even think it's to that degree for real. I think all the motherfuckers are actors. You can't convince me anybody in power hasn't been put there. You know what I mean? Nah, don't work like that. Just think about the machine, yo. Look, I got 1,400 subscribers, right? All my subscribers are organic. I don't buy views. I don't buy subscribers. Every single subscriber I got here is because I use my ability to speak to get people interested. Pretty much. I didn't use no false tactics. And look how many subscribers. I got 1,400. But yo, at the end of the day, they organic subscribers, and I'm proud of that. When you got the machine backing you, oh man, when you got the machine backing you, 1 million subscribers, 2 million views in a year. You're making money off your videos because you got the machine behind you. The machine is basically pushing you forward. You know what I'm saying? You don't get in a position of power without the machine. It just don't work like that. You know, too many people that want the power. You feel me? So I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that there's any man or whatever in power because I don't believe it's a situation where you can just end up there. You got to be put there. You know, they be trying to say stuff like, yeah, he pretty much he took an army of jackleg thugs and they took over. Nah, man, I don't believe that, bro. Because there's too many jackleg thugs out there. You know, if you thinking you're gonna do that shit, guess what? It's 70 other groups thinking the same shit. Might even be 1,000 of them. Y'all be all dead before somebody ends up in power. So I don't believe it's that simple. I think these people are all put there, man. Even Putin, even Russia, even Vladimir Putin is supposed to be the guy. He's supposed to be the guy for real. You know, they'd be saying, "Oh, we're Trump this, Trump that." Look, man, look, Trump is also another one that was pretty much put there. They were saying Trump is for the American people. I don't know about that, man. I can't say that. I can't say that 100%. I don't know. I just know a lot of that shit you see on that TV is fake. And here's why I say that. And I'm gonna show y'all exactly why I say it. All right, because when they show you stuff like this right here, like yo, they had the citizens arming the citizens with guns to go fight the terrorists or the Russian terrorists. And they not even real guns. These are cardboard cutouts. This is the shit I'm talking about, bro. This is exactly why I can't but get behind no goddamn news when they come out with stuff like this. Cause it's stupid. They're like, look, man, come on, really? Cardboard cutout guns? Like, are y'all really trying people that much? And like I said, I was telling somebody earlier, like I literally think it's a situation where whatever kind of magic spell they're casting on everybody, whatever kind of voodoo they're using or something like that. Cause a lot of these fucking people do magic and all that other stuff too, black magic. Whatever kind of spell they have casting on people, for it to continue to work on the people who it can work against, you have to present the truth in their face. If you don't present the truth in their face, it won't work for whatever reason. You got to put the truth in. You can obscure it, but it has to be there for viewership. And this is why I think they keep doing shit like this. Who in their right mind would put cardboard guns in people's hands and have them looking like they looking like they about to defend some shit, like they really about to get busy, and then right in front of a camera, have them zoom in on some shit. Like, why would you do that if you're trying to deceive people? I'm convinced it's some kind of lesser magic type thing or something. I don't know, but it's deception, man. It's deception. All that stuff is deception. And I think it's the people. It's to keep the people brainwashed. It's to keep the people from figuring out what's actually happening. What's happening is people figured out that these officials have bond numbers, and because they stepped out of pocket, there's consequences being administered. They already got the mask man. The COVID narrative just fell apart. So now that shit magically disappeared. Now everybody's talking about Russia. Like, yo, what happened to COVID? It's gone. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Mask mandates got lifted, skirts got pulled up. Y'all took all that money, all that them 2 years, y'all had a good ass time. Y'all was out there doing all kinds of stuff. And now y'all in trouble. Y'all in trouble. Now y'all answering for your crimes, so to speak. And now they want to talk about some Russia shit. They want to talk about some bombing or something like that. Or it's just too convenient, man. And then when you put stuff like this in place, I done seen all kinds of videos, fake AR-15s, assault rifles and shit like that. Not AR-15s, but AK-47 assault rifles, M16s, fake cardboard cutout guns or wood or whatever the hell they're using, prop guns. There's too many. It's too much question marks, man. I don't like it. It don't sit well with me. So no, I'm not believing it. I don't believe that shit. And then they had this one video where they said Russia had just bombed Ukraine or something like that, and all of a sudden, they showed an overview of where the area was bombed at, and it was supposed to be in martial law, but there was still people outside walking around and shit, and there was cars literally running back and forth. Like nobody even knew what the hell was going on. So, I mean, if you're going to spin a narrative, at least make it smart, make it work, because it's just not believable, man. People ain't we not falling for that shit no more, man. It's done. Y'all reign of power is over. They not trying to let go of that shit. That's what this is. They're not trying to let go of that reign of power. They're trying to hold on to it as long as possible. That's all it is. And it's tired, man. It's tired. Alex says I'm tapped out on the Russian news. Yeah, I stopped paying attention to it too, because it's only gonna get stupider. The longer it drags on, it's just gonna get dumber and dumber. Stupider ain't even the word. It's gonna get dumber and dumber. That's my son name. Oh, that's a hard ass name, man. Russia taking out the labs. I heard that, yo. I heard Russia's taking out the labs, like the whole thing is supposed to be some save the cavalry type stuff. But yo, let's not forget, the bottom line is they trying to get in that martial law and that social credit system. That's what the end game is. They already talked about it in Canada. They were saying that a lot of the mask mandates and shot mandates got lifted, but on the same token, they still have a situation where they're some social credit scores, the groundwork's already been laid down. That's what they were saying. The groundwork's already been laid down. So now it's a situation where it's only a matter of time before that shit's implemented, you know? And this is what I'm talking about. This is why we can't be focusing on shit like that, because it don't mean nothing, man. Too many narratives, like Alex said, too many narratives. They're preparing for a fall winter virus to, to throw our way. Probably so. And it's always always gonna get people been getting sick forever, man. People never gonna stop getting sick. There's never gonna be in the variants because people always gonna get sick. So they're always gonna say it's a new variant. People been getting sick every goddamn time of the year, same time of the year for I don't even know how long since I've been alive on this goddamn earth. Feel me? You think something's behind this? What do you think? As long as we're good, I ain't stressing. Listen, man. Like I said, bro, get with some people in your neighborhood who think like-minded. In case you gotta get busy, find out where your local spring water source is. Go to findaspring.com. Get your pen and paper and write that down. Or get your phone out and get the notes section. Findaspring.com. Find your local water source. Just in case shit hits the fan and you can't get your hands on no water. You need to go collect some water. Get yourself some glass bottles so you can stock up on water. Natural water from the earth. And get busy. Get to it. Make sure you have a way to protect your household. Make sure you got some gold and silver. Those should all be on your checklist, just in case. If there's another Texas situation and the EMP hits and the power grid goes down, what's your next move? You're gonna be in a FEMA camp if you don't know how to defend or protect yourself. Part real, but mostly psyop. You know what, Kelly? The best place to hide lies between two truths. So you could be right about that. Some of it's probably true, but it's nowhere near to the extent of what they're making it out to be. They're making Vladimir Putin out to be this villain and shit. Now, I just don't. I don't got that. I don't got it. I ain't got that. I ain't got it. I don't believe it. Man, it says look at the stock market now. The stock market is in the toilet. But yeah, you're right. The stock market could be just the rich people buying shit low And then when shit gets better later on, they'll sell that shit high. It's all about fiat. But yeah, that's been their technique for a long time. Issue in a pandemic, drive the market down, buy up all the stock, let that shit go back to normal, shit get better, sell it. Wash, rinse, and repeat. That's how the rich stay rich. The biggest money laundering county for Democrats. Yeah, they did say that. I think they said something about the uh one of Biden's sons. I don't think it's Hunter Biden. One of his sons actually is an oil tycoon or something like that, a gas tycoon or something. And one of his main rigs is down there for real. They were saying that all four of those. I think it was Nancy Pelosi has a son that's involved in Ukraine, and then there's two other politicians along with Joe Biden, all Democrats that got their hands all in that shit, man. Yeah, it's craziness. Absolutely, Kelly. You already know it. They ain't putting nobody on TV that's real. If they can't control the narrative, they ain't showing your ass on TV. 100%. That's facts. And it's been like that. You know what I mean? It's just the question is how long. I'm not sure how long they've been using crisis actors, to be honest with you. The war is fake. They're trying to make a bubble explode to raise prices even higher all over the world. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Trying to crash that dollar, man. So I say y'all better get your hands on some silver. Y'all better go to listen. I don't know how many of y'all seen it, but I'm gonna show y'all again because I love y'all. I want y'all to see this. All right. This is what you can do. I got y'all. If you don't like eBay, you can use Amazon. All right. This is what you can do. If you do not have a lot of funds and you want to grab some silver, this is what you can do right here. I've been showing y'all this, and I'm gonna show you again. You can also go on Amazon, right? You can get 1 gram of silver for $3.85, right? If you don't have a lot of funds. If you want to get 10 grams of silver, $19.98 for $20, right? $20. You can buy 10 grams of silver. Put it away somewhere. You got to wait till next week or something like that. You got $40. You buy 20 grams. Just keep stocking up, man. Have some way to be able to feed your family in case SHTF. For real. It's very, very, very small. You can, if you got more money, you can go for gold. You can go for silver. You can go for platinum. You can go for palladium. Whatever. The bottom line is, please have a way to be able to sustain your family, something for bartering or trade, because you might need it. Because at the rate we're going right now, yeah, they might do an electromagnetic pulse. I was having this conversation with my dad the other day. I was like, yeah, man. Um, he's real heavy into he's real heavy into the commercial. He's a beasted commercial. He's real good at the commerce game. I'm like, you still need to have some silver and gold because if it's a situation where it's an EMP, none of that stuff is gonna matter, no matter what you got. The first, let me tell you something. Somebody was like, "Yo, look, put your stuff in the bank or whatever like that." Listen, if you can't, whatever you can get your hands, if you don't have that shit within 10 feet of you, bro, it don't exist. So that bank is closed or whatever. They done already looted all the safe deposit boxes and all that shit, man. Forget it. Anything that's in there that should already been looted. The organization crashed, man. You better be ready. But yeah, man, by all means, get busy. Get busy because like you said, that bubble explode and they hit that EMP, it's gonna be the great reset, whether we like it or not. Let's just hope it don't come to that. You know what I mean? Reused pics from 2016. I saw that with the one with the two kids standing in front of the tank. I mean, but I'm not even talking about that though. I'm talking about the assholes running around with cardboard guns. Like that's blatant disrespect to me. What the at least hold a cap gun, with a red tip at least. That way maybe I don't see the red tip. God damn, these motherfuckers is holding cardboard guns, cardboard cutouts and shit. This world is a complete stage, and we, the people, are in the audience looking at the puppets on stage. Yeah. If only we could convince other people that was the case, though, right? Remember the Afghanistan conflict when people was running with the C-17 plane? If you really look, it's a big air balloon. Nah, I did not know that actually. Interesting thing about that though, I was just talking to somebody about that too. When they said that the terrorists, matter of fact, you know what? I got y'all, man, because I'm gonna show y'all this. But yo, they was like the terrorists crashed the plane into the two buildings, and they was like, yeah, the plane hit the two buildings and suddenly they had all these eyewitnesses talking about some shit. And then you go back and realize they was crisis actors too, which is a motherfucker because we ain't know nothing about it. We was in high school when that shit happened. You know what I mean, most of us here anyway. Probably some older, maybe some younger. But yeah, it was a situation where it was like, yo, the black box got destroyed. Yeah, there's no plane debris because of the heat was too hot. And well, how did y'all know it was terrorists? Because we found their passports. Like the plane was destroyed, the black box was destroyed, which is indestructible. But the fire was so hot and the explosion was so monumental. The plane pieces was gone and incinerated, and the black box was incinerated. Yeah, but we found their passports nearby though. All the passports. We found all their passports laying on the ground. Something don't sound right with that. Listen, unless they got Johnny Storm from fucking what is it? Fantastic Four's passport. You know what I mean? It was the only way that would make sense. Or they got Johnny Blaze passport made by Reed Richards himself. Ain't no way, goddamn way, them passports was found. All right, so that's some bullshit. But people believed it and shit. But yeah, it's all. What can I say, man? Like you said, the world's a stage. Is it Hunter Biden? That crackhead motherfucker's able to do that shit. He must got some people doing it for him. Ain't no way his ass can do that shit by himself. I actually saw somebody has said that in one of them QAnon posts, they said that he was smashing Malia Obama or something like that. I think he was clapping Malia or something. They said there was some coke lines on the table on her credit card. Where they was using her credit card to cut up the coke lines. Malia Obama's credit card was on his table or something like that, and they actually had some naked pictures of her or some shit on there too. I was like, yo, my man is clapping Malia Obama. That's wild. Peace, positive energy creates elevation. He says, thank you so much, man. Good looking out, Keith. I got that email, man. Thank you for that. This is part of the global electronic banking system shutdown. Checking where Russian vessel that cuts underwater cables was doing. Check where Russian vessel that cuts underwater cables. So y'all think they trying to get rid of the electronic banking? They said something about Vladimir Putin wanting to go back to the gold standard, like the Kremlin wanted to go back to the gold standard. I don't know, man. It's just too many narratives for me, bro. It's too many narratives, man. Nah, it's too many. I don't have enough pieces yet. I need more pieces before I can make a decision. But I will say I don't believe none of that shit yet. I don't even believe nowhere it got blown up, honestly. Maybe. I'm not solid on that though. I've seen the documentary videos breaking down the assassination of JFK, and it seems like there could have been crisis actors involved. Let me tell you, they probably been using crisis actors forever, man. Now that we know what we know, and you look back at history, I don't think there was any damn. They even say I read in a book Abraham Lincoln's killing was staged for real. I saw that too. Yeah, right before the shooting started in Europe, when that line from Europe gets cut this summer or fall, any person without cash or food stash will suffer. He said, "Oops, did I type that?" Yes, you sure did. Oops. Absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. Get your shit together. Get your shit together. Get some gold, get some silver if you can. Get some canned goods. Get yourself interesting piece of information. If you have a outdoor store near where you live, you can get a crossbow for less than $100, unless you live in New York or something. But you can get a crossbow for less than $100. Learn how to hunt. Learn how to set up tents. Learn how to use a compass. Get in touch with them people you call rednecks and shit like that. If you got any of them that's friendly enough to talk to you, ask them if they can shoot, because they know how to do all that shit. They gonna be good when all this shit hit the fan. They straight. You know what I mean? Get with all of them, man. Get the knowledge, man. Teach them some shit too. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, sir. CGI. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Man, I really notice banks really be issuing other people fiat out. Yeah, facts. I got some fiat at a bank that wasn't even A member of. That's crazy. You got some fiat out at a bank that you weren't even a member of. Yeah, yeah, that's facts. So if somebody puts fiat in the bank and you come from out of town and get fiat out of it, yes, you're getting their fiat. Exactly. They don't. The banks don't give anybody. They're not even allowed to borrow money themselves. They basically trick you into using your credit and making you the debtor. One plane engine was found 2 blocks away, and it was an engine from a military plane that was dumped there. Yeah, probably so. And you know what the crazy thing is, yo? How empty does your conscience have to be a crisis actor, yo? Like, what kind of person would do some shit like that, yo? You couldn't you couldn't pay me enough to do a job like that, man. To like just lie to people. Like people literally are panicking, and you're like, yo, I got all this money. Fuck all these people. I did this job. I did some dirty shit. I got ill-gotten gains. That's crazy to me, man. That's crazy to me. Practice how to start a fire. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Get on that YouTube, man. They actually got YouTube channels and stuff where you can actually make a little you could take a what is it? A Pepsi can and you can actually make a working stove with a Pepsi can. Real talk. There's all kinds of good shit on YouTube, man. And you know, we like to look into law and all that stuff. And we like to look into history and current events. Man, switch on one of them survival channels and learn how to do some basic stuff first. Learn how to make a water filter with just a clear water bottle, like one of them spring water bottles. You could put what did they use? Rocks, sand, charcoal, and dirt, and you can filter the water through like that and it filters out the water, and then you can boil what's left of the water in order to get drinkable water. But yeah, there's a way you can actually do all that. You use like a little rag or something like that too to filter any of the dirt and debris out. So like let's say you got a bottle, right? You would take the bottom of the bottle and you would cut the bottom. Actually, hold on, let me make sure I got that right. Cut the bottom, and then you would cut the top, I believe. And then you would take a rubber band and you would tie it around the bottom, and you would take the top piece you cut off with the little nozzle, you screw a cap on, put that in the top, and then you would fill it with like each of those elements, like 4 stages. And then at the end, you would put like a little rag underneath that bad boy. And then you put water through it or whatever, and then pull all the water out through the rocks, the sand, and the charcoal. And then what's left of it, you can just boil and you can drink. But yeah, man, interesting stuff you can actually find out. I bought a book offline about the hunting and survival tactics and all that stuff, just in case shit hits the fan. I got a book I can read. I suggest you guys do the same. It's supposed the supposed daughters of the Obama ain't blood anyways. Not possible for two men to make babies. Facts, but most ain't ready for that combo. Let me shut up. I feel my social score. She said I feel my social credit score dropping. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Obama actually calls Michelle Mike sometimes. So yeah, that's crazy. I have a 10 stage filter in my kitchen sink. That's good, man. I got a what is it up? I want to say 7 or 8, something like that. Stage joint on my shower head. If somebody was like, "Yo, you can absorb the fluoride through your skin too, man. So make sure you do a filter for that." I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't even think about that." Your biggest organ is your skin. That's the biggest organ you have. You know. I was talking to Bad Wolf, and we were talking about going to a hot spring sometimes and actually absorbing the minerals and stuff through your skin. Like yo, that would be good, man. If you actually went to a hot spring, because you could absorb the minerals and all the vitamins through your skin. That's the biggest organ you have. Better than water purifiers are the best. We not gonna get into the water purifiers again because I was heartbroken when I found out how much you can spend on a goddamn water purifier. Sheesh. I think my man what do you say? Yo, he was like, yo, he said, yo, he was laughing at me because I said I didn't want to spend $800. It was like, motherfucker, that shit is cheap. Water filters go for like 10 bands if you're really trying to get busy with it. You can spend 10 bands on a good water filter. I was like, damn, crazy. Alex Jones sells a filter tank for river water. I wouldn't drink nothing Alex Jones selling because that motherfucker's part of the establishment. I don't trust his ass. John Wilkes Booth, killer of Lincoln, didn't die from a bonfire. He ran to New Mexico and left a diary to his doctor to reveal his death. After his death, they controlled the narrative to suit their agenda. Facts. Shit, that's true, man. Reverse osmosis. Yeah, I think they the $800 ones, but bro, I'm not spending 10 bands. I mean, people got their vices. Some people want to go out and spend 10 bands on a new car and stuff like that, or paint and stuff like that. Some people just want clean ass water, which is fair. Hey, you'll get no argument from me. Am I spending 10 bands for a water filter? Nah, I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But to each his own. To each his own, and I ain't gonna knock you for that because that's a good thing for your body. You drinking clean water, man, that's great for you. We all about promoting good stuff here. All right, so look, I wanted to show y'all this since we got on the topic of 9/11. I never actually saw this video. So take a look at this shit right here. Look at this, look at this craziness. I'm gonna let y'all watch this.
Humbling down. We want to bring in Mark Walsh, who's a freelancer for Fox. You live just a few blocks away and witnessed.
Dude, I live on the 43rd floor of a building, which is 5 blocks from the World Trade Center itself. I witnessed the entire thing from beginning to end.
People talk about how it looked like a movie. I know when I came walking down here early this morning and saw both towers on fire and people on every street corner, it was like a movie, but you watched the planes hit the towers.
I was watching with my roommate. It was approximately several minutes after the first plane had hit. I saw this plane come out of nowhere and just ream right into the side of the Twin Tower, exploding through the other side. And then I witnessed both towers collapse, one first and
hey, yo, you see that CIA operative back there is handling he walked up to him to make sure. Yo, the minute he said something he wasn't supposed to say, he's about to get clotheslined, yo. I swear, yo, he came up and stood right there to make sure he didn't say nothing sideways he wasn't supposed to say. That dude was a crisis actor, too.
And then the second, mostly due to structural failure because the fire was just too intense.
Obviously, there were a lot of people inside the buildings at the time.
Guys from the 7th precinct, the 1st precinct, the fire department right here, the 7th truck, those guys are all right there at ground zero when those things went down. And God bless, I know there's a lot of guys there that were around there, and hopefully they made it out.
What was happening around you in the streets around you as this was all going down?
Absolute pandemonium. From my viewpoint up 43 floors, I could see people running like ants, just absolutely scurrying for their lives. Billows of smoke coming through the streets, just walking down the street, just pushing everybody back. And then several minutes after, it looked like it had just snowed over the entire area.
Yeah, the debris, the soot was thick on the street. There's still a dusting of it out here. But when I was standing here and the towers collapsed, we saw police officers running for their lives, screaming, "Get back, get back, get back!" And I'll tell you, that's a wake-up call when you see cops running for their lives, and people too, women's pushing baby carriages, that sort of thing.
Well, you had the first tower first. That one, when that first went down, it just pushed everybody back, and it was a good 15 minutes before the second tower finally collapsed. Yeah. And it was just overwhelming, and by that point, it was just insane.
Well, I'm hearing a lot of similar stories from people who were inside the building. One gentleman we spoke to earlier today, John, was on the 77th floor and said it was a relatively orderly evacuation at that point after the first plane hit the first tower. Everyone going down the stairs, not a lot of panic. But when they got to the 6th floor, he says they felt a second shake. And then people started to really be concerned. Obviously, there were people in the building at the time of this, and some of those people, they haven't recovered them yet. And that's a big issue right now, is trying to get the rescue workers and the emergency crews to the building. There were police officers there and emergency crews there when this was all happening, and they were right at ground zero when it all went down. Can we talk to you? What's your role out here right now?
Just standing by right now. Can't say what role I'm playing right now.
Well, there's a lot of standing by. There's also concern that some of these...
Did you hear what he said? He said, "What role are you playing now?" And he said, "I can't say what role I'm playing right now." This motherfucker had a suit and tie on too, and he had a COVID mask on. And then he got flustered after he asked him that because he know he asked the wrong motherfucker that question.
Were people in the building at the time of this, and some of those people, they haven't recovered them yet. And that's a big issue right now, is trying to get the rescue workers and the emergency crews to the building. There were police officers there and emergency crews there when this was all happening, and they were right at ground zero when it all went down. Can we talk to you? What's your role out here right now?
Just standing by right now. Can't say what role I'm playing right now.
Well, there's a lot of standing by. There's also concern.
See that? He literally said, "What role are you playing right now?" The words don't get much more literal than that. What role are you playing right now? Sheesh. It was right in front of our faces the whole time, yo. It was there the whole time. Jeez. Sheesh. What can I say, man? What can I say? I'm gonna play out the rest of it.
Concerned that some of these other buildings might actually come down. This building right here with the glass that you see, the nearest tall building, that has structural damage as well. We saw a lot of glass broken out, and a corner of the building appeared to be in distress. And there's concern that there might actually be another collapse of that building.
All right. So that was I think it was Harley Davidson guy or something like that. Yeah.
You
that
have
was,
no idea.
shut the fuck up. Yeah, that was interesting to me. But yeah, you saw that handler right there, right there. They always come with the black agent and the white agent. Both of them dudes was right there making sure whoever said what they said that shit the way it was supposed to be said, not no other way. Otherwise, you was gonna get the microphone taken from you or something. Facts. That microphone would have got snatched out of your hand and they wouldn't even let you finish. Kanye West would have blushed and snatched that mic from you so fast. All right, let me see here. He said he ran. It must have been hard from Ford Theater. He said Ford Theater. Right, exactly. Jimmy hit it right on the head. Is that, yo, you know what's ill? His voice and his speaking pattern sounded a lot like Donald Trump's. Yeah. Yeah, his speaking pattern and his voice did sound a lot like Donald Trump's. That was very interesting. You know, that's because I thought about it while he was talking. I was like, hey, he sounded like a little bit like if I would have liked to like not know what was going on and just to listen, I'd be like, yeah, that sounded like a little bit like Trump. Yeah. I don't know if it was Trump though. I mean, it didn't look like unless he had a mask on or something like that, which is entirely possible. But who knows? The speaking pattern is usually like, that's usually a dead giveaway though. He said it was approximately several minutes. He could have been more. Yeah. Who's gonna use the word approximately in a moment like that? Nah, that shit was phony as shit, man. You ain't getting on that microphone unless you got a script. Dr. Judy Wood has a good analysis on what happened on 9/11. It could have been a direct energy weapon. I think it was more simpler than that though, bro. I mean, I think that shit was strip DNA. It was the strip bombs. What is it? Plasma TNT or something. There's a TNT that the destruction building guys use. It's like a strip. It's a long strip of TNT and it's diagonal. And what they do is when they destroy the buildings, they destroy it diagonal so that the building collapses into itself and it doesn't like fall over and knock over the next building next to it or hurt anybody else. So yeah, the building collapsed straight down. There's a whole bunch of people in there that got collapsed upon, which is terrible. But they're all about that blood sacrifice. You feel me? But yeah, it's completely fucked up, man. Completely fucked up. I don't think it was a direct energy weapon for that one though. But we know the planes were CGI because you go back and look at. They pulled all the videos off of YouTube now, which I'm surprised they stayed up that long. I think the last time I saw one was like 2017. Them shit stayed up all that time on YouTube. But there was actually videos where you could actually see on the news clipping, you could actually see one of the wings go behind one of the buildings in the background. And that's entirely impossible. It's just like the sun being not in outer space. How the fuck can the cloud be behind the sun? That's impossible if it's in outer space. It's the same thing. So yeah, it was crazy. He sounds like an agent. Key buzzwords. He has exact details of everything that don't sync. LOL. He knows too much story version. Yeah, agreed. He's a handler. He had a handler too. Two handlers. He had Agent J and K right there. There's a picture of a nose. There's a picture of the nose cone of the plane coming out the side undamaged. A plane cone has aluminum or fiberglass. What's wrong with that picture? Oh yeah. Yeah. This is CGI. Somebody tried to tell me it was Blue Beam, but I don't think they have Blue Beam perfected to the point they're ready to present it to the public yet. What do y'all think? Y'all think it could have been Project Blue Beam? Because a lot of people said they never saw no planes that was live there. A lot of people said they didn't see no planes. They just saw explosions. A lot of people said they didn't see no planes. There's no plane pieces. There's no black box. They said they found it later, of course, which you can find anything later, of course. That shit can be put there. But there's no plane pieces and none of that crap. It was just a lot of questionable things that were involved with that situation. Man, you cannot get down 77 to the 6th flight of stairs that fast. Ain't no building gonna fall like that. It was staged for real. Yep. And why were they already calling it ground zero? How about that? 43rd floor, 777th floor, 37's hoax code. Yeah, yeah. I thought it was 47 for the CIA though. I think the CIA was created in 1947, right? Usually it's 47. I thought it was 47, or you would see see other number they like to use, the 33. And remember, Leanna went from CNN, was a crisis actor in the Boston bombing. I think the video is still on YouTube. Shit. Thermite, that's what it's called. Thermite. Thermite. The dust was analyzed and proven to be military grade. All internal witnesses said teams for weeks were working on the elevators. Yeah. That's what I was telling. That's what I was saying, man. Now I think it was more, I don't think it was a direct energy weapon. They might not even have had a direct energy weapon back then just yet perfected. You know, if they did have it, you know, they get that technology spike every so often. It might be some otherworldly beings giving them that technology, or interdimensional beings. So, like if you look at the progression of technology from time to time for mankind, it always does like a stepping stair activation, like boom and then boom, like it'll go up and then it'll go up and it'll go up. It does it like that, and the reason for that, I believe, is because probably they're getting information from interdimensional beings, and they're using the information for whatever nefarious purposes, you know. But that's a whole nother conversation. I think I've heard something about nanothermite, but who knows? I didn't see it. Yep. Energy weapon, 5G V band, 60 plus gigahertz, due to its millimeter wave size, higher frequency within electromagnetic spectrums, in contrast to even infrared, sucking the oxygen out of vessel to be like water. That's some crazy shit right there. My man broke down the science. They got all kinds of energy weapons though. That's crazy. Sucking the oxygen out of a vessel. God damn. I was just about to say the bad wolf thermite. That's what took down the buildings. Don't forget building 7. Thermite charges. Yeah. I know that the thermite charges, they put them diagonal. It's like a strip. And they put them diagonally, a strip of TNT. But yeah, we are 40 years behind the technology they have. I thought it was longer than that, yo. Cause like, don't forget, they are just starting to put optic camouflage out now. I saw something on Instagram where they had like a cloak camouflage, something they were selling. I can't remember what it was for, but it was like it had a practical home use, but it was like very impractical for like carrying around or something like that. It was basically you sit it there and leave it there type deal. But yeah, they finally started to put those out for household use, and I thought that was interesting. But yeah, that shit, they had optic camouflage back when Einstein was working on the formula. Optic camouflage and teleportation, quantum teleportation. If nearly 100% of the body parts were atomized, how did their passports survive? That's the first thing that didn't make sense to me. When I first heard that on the news, I scratched my head, and it didn't bother anybody else. I'm like, did y'all hear what they just said? It was like, what? I was like, yo, they said they found their passports through the rubble. Like they were supposed to be on a plane in a suicide mission, but they found their passports though. They was like, yeah, I mean, it could happen. Really? It could happen, huh? And what dimension are you living in where that shit could happen? Because I don't know of any dimension where paper can survive goddamn fucking jet fuel. An old coworker of mine told me she was told to stay home that day when she was working. Really? So you saying it's a possibility that I ain't even gonna say it. I ain't even gonna say it. I wouldn't be surprised about the tech they had at the time. I was fascinated to hear about the Bell Nazi tech. Yeah, Nazis had some shit for that ass. I'll tell you that. That's probably another reason they want to get them the fuck out of there. Break that shit up. I'm absolutely positive there's a Scholar weapons. That's what Tesla was working on, aka Teleforce. Whether it was used or not is just a thought of experiment for me. Yeah. Huh. You forgot the Hutchinson effect, which was used in the towers to bring them down. Yeah. I mentioned that. I mentioned that. How they collapse straight down, right? Is that what you're talking about, the Hutchinson effect? When they collapse a building onto itself, so they can collapse them in large cities and not disturb any nearby buildings. Only thing they do is close off a few streets so the dust and debris doesn't affect too much. But yeah, I know what you mean, though. I'm with it. If their bodies were atomized, there's still a good possibility of scholar weapons. So you think the people inside the building were atomized? That's. I'm gonna need you to send me some info on that, yo, because that's a bold claim. Now, how is them end up being? Then how is all of them end up being just passwords? What are we talking about here, bro? Tesla was able to control the ionosphere by manipulating isotopes. Philadelphia experiment was legit. Yeah, we talked about the Philadelphia experiment before. Absolutely. Yeah, the Philadelphia experiment, man. They stumbled across that though. Hutchison melts things together regardless of what the material is. Yes, folks went bye-bye. Watch the buildings. They were dustified with Tesla tech. So you think it was an energy weapon too, then? That's interesting. That's very interesting. God damn. Ain't that some shit? And here I am thinking they just blew the goddamn building up and leveled the shit with everybody in it. Collapsed that shit on everybody. Y'all talking about they used goddamn lasers and shit. Goddamn moonraker lasers. Look into Dr. Judy Wood's presentation on YouTube. Yeah, I am on it, man. I am on it. I'm surprised they left that up there, though. A lot of them videos got pulled, bro. I'm telling you. A lot of them got yanked. All right. All right. Yeah, I think we got through everything. I think we was able to get through everything. All right, we got through it. All right, cool. So look, here comes the part. We 2 hours in. I usually do this an hour in. I told you I had a lot of information for y'all today. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and drop this comment, the link in the comment section, and you guys can jump in. And if you want to drop something on us, you can do so. There's a link right there. So if you want to hop in, there you go. My man says, I meant passports, and it was a video of President Bush was visiting little kids at a school, and he basically slipped up and said it was about to happen before it happened. Oh shit! I saw the video where he was reading the kids the book, but I never really saw the other part you're talking about. Dr. Judy Wood has the 9/11 buildings covered in detail on her site, dustified in Hutchinson and energy weapons, yada. So what is this? Somebody said something about military grade and thermite. So we got to come to a consensus on this. So was thermite used or was it not used? That's what I want to know. Was thermite used or was it not used? Because someone had just said that they had found the dust was military grade, like from a military weapon. I mean, which I guess, the energy weapon could be military, of course, if that's what you guys are talking about. But then we're talking about thermite also, where experts were saying that the buildings were destroyed using thermite. I posted a John Hutchinson video on Facebook before. I'm pretty sure I was shadow banned for that. You best believe it. You talking about stuff like John Hutchinson and stuff like that, man. Sheesh. Man, that's crazy. So much goddamn information. So much stuff. All right, so without further ado, I got my man in the green room, the Bad Wolf. What up, Wolf? What's going on with you?
Hey, what's going on, A6? What's going on, everybody?
What up, champ? What's good, man? What's on your
Man,
mind, bro? What you think about all this stuff?
I was just looking for this video my guys sent me a while back where they break down every aspect of the whole 9-1 to the 1 on it. And if I find it, I'm gonna send you a copy of it. Believe you me, it was fire. But yeah, if you go over all the evidence, it's all entertainment, man. But it's a game, but it's real life, and none of it matches up. One of the key things that struck me in the video was they had an interview with the guy who owns the buildings, right? And he was talking about how he got a call from the GOV that day, and he said that they told him there's been such a large amount of life lost in this tragedy that they need to pull it. They need to pull it, the building. Now, the word pull it in their terminology means to have a controlled demolition. So how can you do a controlled demolition within minutes of the plane hitting the tower and do that? This is what the owner of the building said on the interview. Now,
Wait,
I thought,
pull it? Like, what the fuck? Go ahead,
yeah,
continue.
all right. So that was weird. Now, don't forget, I think it was Building 7 actually went down before the towers went down, and that was supposed to have had a fire in it. But a fire is not supposed to bring down any of those buildings because they have to be regulated and built in such a way that that can't happen. So Building 7 went down before the other buildings went down, before they said it went down, and it was just a fire where you could only see some smoke coming out of it. Fire doesn't bring down concrete and steel. That's why they're designed that way by industry standards. Then the next problem is if we jump back to the towers, after the plane had crashed, I think it was in Chicago, the Sears Tower, which didn't fall. They made sure that all the buildings from that point on had to be able to withstand multiple plane crashes in order to be um, uh, set to an industry standard. Okay, so no, there's no way that that could happen. And then you're looking at the fuel that the planes had in there that doesn't burn hot enough to melt those I beams. They don't burn hot enough. That fuel does not burn hot enough to melt that. They have to have a controlled burn in order to even fatigue them. And even if that happens, the buildings then, by construction code, are designed to fall on top of themselves instead of like one direction or another direction. But they're not designed to collapse the whole thing at all. That's how they were designed. So yeah, it's all entertainment, man. Unfortunately, a lot of people did lose their life in it. There's no way that a terrorist had his passport on him and in his pants pocket or whatever, and then that explosion took out a plane and took down the building, but it just happened to blew off of his ass out a couple blocks away and was fine enough where they could legibly read it. If that's the case, I need my car made out of that stuff.
Yeah, hell
I
yeah.
need a vest made out of that stuff. Like
Right.
anybody who believes that, I'm sorry, you don't know what
You just don't have any sense, you know what I mean? Like, it is what
you
it
don't
is.
know how you don't know that plastic burns. All right, so you're telling me I mean, not that I would, but I could take a lighter right now and I could destroy a passport, but it somehow survived an explosion that blew apart a building that was bigger than your house.
Right. Craziness, man. Hey, my man, you know what I heard? I heard there was a gold bank underneath it, like a whole bunch of gold underneath each of those bad boys too.
Careful with the G word.
Oh
But
shit.
yeah, yeah, that's one of the questions that nobody's asking because people don't read and they don't know to look for the right pieces. You know, they're too busy watching this hand while this hand over here is stealing stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yes, that is one of the biggest things right now is that well, I won't say certain parts of this, but we'll just say this. Um, Nobody's asking the question of what happened to all the gold and silver that was in those vaults in within the building. I mean, don't forget that they had banks in there, they had people's personal accounts, storage, uh,
CD deposits.
right,
Exactly. That's exactly why I don't rock with them shits, man.
and so nobody's asking where all that went. You know, what happened to all those things, all that actual real money, real currency. You know what I mean? Like,
We gotta talk about that privately, yo, because I'm definitely yeah.
yeah, I'm not, yeah, we
Yeah.
remember this is all education, this is entertainment, this is all for fun and entertainment. It's a
Oh,
show
my
right
videos
now.
are all listed as entertainment.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
my
yeah.
videos are
Don't take
entertainment.
any of this seriously. This is just we're just talking about conjecture here,
Yep.
theories.
Mhm.
So yeah, so the theory is that all of that went missing. Um, you know, because they recycled all of the metal. Remember, they recycled all the metal there. They sent to what was it, Korea, and they turned the metal into ships. They created a warship over there.
I wouldn't want to be on that motherfucker. That motherfucker like haunted like a motherfucker.
Haunted as a piece. Well, that's if the people were actually on the plane when it exploded, but we'll leave that alone for now.
Holy snap! My man said they used a drone.
Mm, yeah, there's some stuff there. There's some stuff.
Yeah, how about that video they had in that your boy's island where you know they had Bush playing with the two Jenga towers and he had paper planes and shit. You saw that? You see that
Um,
painting?
yeah. They knew this was going to happen long in advance. This was
Hell
planned
yeah.
out.
Hell yeah.
I mean, even look at The Simpsons. You know, they showed clips in the background of
Yeah.
one of the Simpsons episode with that stuff on there. So hypothetically, the theory goes that remember what happened the day before. They were talking about they lost like something like $500 trillion. You know, in the budget, they can't account for it. And then the next day, this happened. And then you take into consideration that supposedly the president at the time had there was offices in Building 7 and in the towers that had potentially incriminating evidence on activities that unfortunately just happened to have exploded and caught on fire.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot more to it. There's
And what video was that you saw? Send me that video, man. I want to watch that.
yeah. Like I gotta dig through about 200 CDs because you know who looks at CDs anymore. But my God made a copy. He was like, "I'm not sending this to you through email. It's too big and there's too much info on it." He was because it started because he's my guy's Russian and he was traveling, you know, around the world or whatever. And he said something like he was in France and he was watching their interpretation of what was going on here because we don't get to see the real news, which we all know.
Right.
And so he was saying how he took a video that somebody made over there about the evidence that was going on here because he said like the way the world sees our events and how it plays out and they weigh the evidence and they're like, man, Americans must all be stupid, like they have to know this was bullshit because like we see it, but the problem is we don't see what they see. Remember, all of the media is controlled by like 7 families.
Yeah.
You know, well, you saw the TV.
Yeah.
So yeah, he made a disc and showed it to me. So I'll send it to you when and if I find it somewhere. Otherwise, I'll see what I can dig up on it again. But
Yeah,
after I saw
please, man. I want to watch that shit.
I was done. I was like, oh, that I already had my speculations. But yeah, that just it everything in there from all the eyewitnesses, the statements, and it all just it was you can't deny the evidence.
Yeah.
I mean, like even the speed at which that they came down was at free fall.
Hmm.
No building in the history of any building ever, not even a house, comes down at free fall speed. That
Right.
means absolutely there's no friction underneath it.
Right.
Like, and for your friends who were talking about probably an energy weapon, I think what my theory, educational entertainment purposes only, you know, is that they did use the thermite. They had went in there weeks before, probably put it along the because when you take down a building, you have to put it around the elevator shafts because that's the strongest part of the building. That's how they construct them. Is that the elevator shafts are usually towards the center core, and those are the structural part of the building that is the strongest. So they probably went in there because this is what I would do if I was going to do something. Line it up with that element, and when they seen that it came down or started to come down, but didn't come all the way down, they probably use the energy weapon to either ignite the rest of it or to weaken it because like I said, no building has ever been designed after the Sears incident with the plane. All of them were designed to be able to fall to a certain level, like if a floor collapses, to stop, because then you can just repair that floor, you know what I mean, instead of just the whole thing coming down. Like what building would be designed they're basically designed like this to not come down, but if they do, you have to put the charges in the right areas of it so that then it comes down straight. Otherwise, the weight of the building, even a little bit, if it's not center, will lean and collapse and fall into other buildings and whatever else. So they weren't supposed. They were specifically designed. This guy showed the engineering designs and the designer, and in the plans it says these all these buildings after whatever date from the Sears incident have to be designed to take multiple plane strikes because they thought that was a potential that the enemy would use against us. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of craziness, man. But yeah, I would love to watch any videos you guys have and stuff like that. 100%. You definitely hit me up with that.
Yeah, because they scrubbed most of the
Oh, they scrubbed it clean.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
looking for videos I had watched. I was like, damn, they pulled that too. They
Yeah,
got
oh yeah.
busy.
Just
All
like
right.
the guy at the COVID-19, when he broke the story the day one from the lab.
Mhm.
He was in the lab looking out the window, showing all that stuff that was going on. That's why I knew about it in November
Right.
when it was happening. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're crazy." I'm like, "I just seen the video." But then when I went back on to see the video gone.
Damn. Yeah, that's how they do. A man said thermite was used in the basement. The floor's ventilation system was used to disperse atomized explosive, forgot the official name, which helped bring it down, aka dustification and atomize the people. Is it
Yeah,
painless? Is it quick? How fast is the atomization?
it's got to be quick. To atomize something is quick. You don't even feel it. You blink and you're in dust.
Damn. Building 7 went down last. That had to be some kind of alien technology there, man. That's what I'm saying. That shit had to been like some shit they got from an interdimensional being or something.
Yeah, they've had. See, we're probably because I went to school for electronics engineering and software and all that stuff. So when I was getting information from people in the military about where we are with technology, and I've got some other people connects that have told me other interesting things. We'll just say we are right now probably at least 250 to 300 years in the past compared to their technology.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
To what access we can have to is primitive compared to what they have now, by
Right.
all accounts. I mean, like like I said, the stuff I learned like years back is outdated. And it's been outdated. Even when I was learning it, it was outdated.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's
But
deep.
yeah, I wasn't sure if it went down first or last or what, but from the video, I just remember it went down and it was only a fire. No fire has ever taken down a concrete metal iron beam building ever. Not once in the
Not
history
once.
of any buildings ever. Not from a fire. Not from a solo fire.
Alex says, don't forget the dancing Israelis. Carl Trumbly says, truth seeker. Exactly. Yep. A reporter from England was here saying Building 7 fell and you can see it's still
Yeah.
standing in the view of
Yeah, that's what I
the
was talking
building she's
about.
standing in. What?
Yeah.
Damn.
On the cast, they're talking about, yeah, building 7 just went down, but in the background you can still see it.
Holy shit. A reporter from England was here saying Building 7. Okay, all right, she just read it. Absolutely. 9/11 evidently Jesus' birthday. Same with infiltrating Baghdad, aka ancient Babylon for Fountain of Youth DNA relics the Bush family was after. Holy shit.
Oh yeah,
That's
they're everywhere picking up ancient alien technology, new technology from the people upstairs. We'll just say they're fascinated by all that. They've got all kind of deals and things going on that are just above the average person's pay grade. Like I said, the average person can't handle most of this information because think about it, people are losing their minds over a chicken sandwich.
right.
So you start actually if they came for that's why I'm not even mad at the government. I get what they're doing and I understand what it is.
I
I'm
said
not,
that too at one point, yo. I was like,
you
yo, some
know,
of these motherfuckers need to be governed, yo, for real.
I mean, I'm not necessarily riding with them, but I'm cool. So treaty, peace, because here's the thing. You have to give people what they can handle. Okay. And the average person, even though parts of the government are responsible for dumbing people down, but in a way, it's almost like they had to dumb people down to bring what's coming next because disclosure of alien life is coming. According to everything I've been told, between now and the year 2032,
I
it
heard it
will
was
be
2030. Yeah.
yeah, it will be fully disclosed. But they're going to start small, so they have to give people they have to spoon feed people this information and the technology. If you drop advanced technology right now it'll destroy industries and jobs and if all of a sudden we don't need say 30%, hell say 5% of the workforce out there because of technology, what are those people going to do?
Right.
How are where why how are they going to have income if they can't work because their jobs aren't needed? I mean, think about 5 or 10% of the workforce not being needed.
Yeah.
You can't just jump from where we were to where what we have available. I
Yeah.
mean, can't.
I agree with
That's
that. Yeah, that's why I said
it's
it's a step stair
yeah.
increase of the tech and things that we're getting in a slow motion movement. But I get it, you know what I mean? But my problem is shit like people having to be sacrificed and shit like that's crazy to me, man. You know?
Yeah. There's a second. Yeah, there's a price, unfortunately, that has to be paid um for humanity. Okay. Sorry to say it like that, sorry to be grim. But the whole thing is that there's a lot of things. There's then how do they say it in Star Trek? The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Mm.
So what we're looking at here is that they're playing on a new ball game where it's kind of like if you were the youngest kid or the weakest kid in your crew growing up, everybody else was older and bigger than you. You kind of got pushed around or whatever else. So that's kind of what's going on is that if we don't operate things carefully with the big boys in the universe, things can go sideways for our way of life. So they have a lot of responsibility. So like I said, there's some aliens out there that are really like, they want to work with us and help us. Others want to take advantage of us. Luckily for us, we've got a treaty with a majority of them right now. Um,
I
but
heard that.
yeah, yeah. But that does not mean that there aren't others here that have infiltrated and have their own agendas. Just like people have their agendas, even within the same species. Say, just take the Greys for instance. There are different species of them, and there's ones with different agendas,
Yeah.
just like humans.
Well, shit, I actually heard one. I was reading something. I can't remember what the hell I was reading. It might have been a YouTube comment. They were saying that one of them dumbs, basically, somebody
Hmm.
had drilled like stupid far under the ground, and it was like a military thing where they actually got into a war with another group of interdimensional beings. There was like a war,
Phil
and it was
Schneider.
like, huh? Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. They
yeah,
were saying some of them died, and some of the military soldiers got murdered as well.
yeah. He said that before he passed away.
Shit.
That he worked for the GOV. He had so you can't just drill a hole and put
Mhm,
a base down there because you could hit a pocket that could blow a freaking 8 block hole in the ground,
mhm.
or you might run into water or whatever. So you need somebody who's trained on how to take the samples and figure out what's going on in that area geologically and blah blah blah. You don't want to put it on a fault line, whatever. You don't want to start drilling and all of a sudden you hit an aquifer and then now your entire system just got flooded out. You have to
Yeah,
have somebody who knows what they're doing. So
right.
this guy did. And he signed all the confidentiality agreements and whatever else and was working for him for years. Didn't believe in aliens or whatever else. But when they got to they hit a spot, they told him that they wanted him to check out this area because they're thinking about putting something there.
Mhm.
So when he was drilling using diamond tipped bits, like $1 million a bit of diamond, okay, so serious hardware, they kept breaking. Okay, there's only one or two elements that are stronger than diamond, and he shouldn't be hitting into it. you know Even if it was diamond on diamond, it should kind of wear out, and because his is rotating faster on the drill bit, it should penetrate. So long story short, they cracked through, and when he got into the basket to be lowered down to see what was going on, a couple of soldiers, a good number of soldiers, jumped in there with him. And he was like, "Why are you guys coming down here with me?" He's like, "I'm just looking at rocks." And they're like, "Well, we're ordered to go wherever you go, sir." So they came down in there, and he turned on his flashlight, and there was he was staring at him.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
and he pulled out his revolver and got to letting that bang bang go. And the soldiers went right into action, threw him in the basket, sent him back up. But after that, so he quit, and he shows in the video. You can look up his
So it
video, and
was
he's got
dark down there. It was completely pitch black. No lights.
pitch black. Yeah, yeah, from what he could see. And he said the creature blew some kind of laser thing at him. He couldn't really see, but it blew his hand off and
Shit.
blew out part of his rib cage. And he
Holy
shows
shit.
it. He shows it on YouTube. You can look him up, and he talks about this. He went touring all around the country saying this, and he goes, just so you guys know, I'm breaking this, this, and this that he signed. And he said that, yeah, they'll probably ask him to relieve himself. We'll just say. And so they end up finding him, and there was a whole big thing, and his wife got into it, and it was entertainment at its finest, we'll just say.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they do all those things. They do lots of stuff, um, in the crevices of the earth. But I understand. You have to understand the reason why I know some of this and I follow is because I did want to go into the military. I was supposed to go into military intelligence at one point in time, and I backed out of it. But I still kept my contacts and friends in it, and you know, I know how to read details a little bit differently than the average person. When it
Mhm.
comes to this kind of stuff. So, because if you're not trained to look at the evidence the right way, you can have all the evidence you want right in front of you, but if you don't know how to analyze it and understand what it's telling you, then it's useless. So, but yeah, check out YouTube, Phil Schneider, Phil, and Schneider. I don't know how you spell it, Schneider.
I'm
Um,
surprised they left that up there, man.
yeah,
So
yeah,
why
yeah.
why didn't they kill that dude, Bob Lazar? You think he an actor? Because he was
The
talking about Moscovium and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
know.
see, Lazar put himself in a unique situation. Um, he he was an engineer, a top engineer, and he helped them to reverse technology. Um, re, um, yeah, he was using reverse technology. He helped them figure out some problems with their propulsion systems because they use what's known as gravity amplifiers, and because gravity is a frequency, it's a wave, and if you nullify the wave, it takes the object and reduces its inertial mass. And you can look all this up on uspto.gov, United States Patent Trademark Office.gov, or you can just go to Google and look up. You can type in what is it, anti-gravity on Google, and it'll pull up all the devices. It'll pull up ships and pull up all that stuff because they have to patent this stuff. In order for them to own it, they have to patent it. That's one of the links that people don't understand out there. Okay, they still patent this stuff, but nobody looks for patents. This is the stuff I do because I'm just a nerd and I find all stuff fascinating. So you can find it, but he got away with it because he went public with it so fast that they didn't have a mechanism to just ice him. And if they did, then it adds credence to his story. Okay, because
Yeah, it makes
see,
sense.
people know Lazar, they don't know Schneider.
Yeah.
Schneider actually, his father worked with uh um God, I can't think of the guy's name. Lear, uh John Lear, and John Lear's father owns Learjet, and all those guys hung around each other. They all know
Mhm.
each other, you know. I'm actually friends with John Lear on Facebook and talk to him, about he reveals some stuff on Facebook. Um, but like I said, all these guys know each other, and they know that the big thing is shh,
Right.
you know, like people like us, they don't really care about because we're not anybody famous. You know what I mean? We're not like big celebrity or whatever else. It's just education and talk. That's all we're doing. Speculating on some stuff.
Yeah, we ain't got a big following that like that anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you take somebody like Lazar, who, I mean, think about it, he was the first person in history to run to the news. And then, even though he had his face shadowed, you know, he eventually came forward because he was like, they're going to know who I am. He's like, I might as well just put it all out there. That's my only choice and hope to survive this. So that's what he did. And when he did that, they were like, well, crap. Now, if we, you know, ice this cat, like it's going to give credence to what he was talking about,
Yeah, he'll look
you
bad.
know. So
Yeah.
that's how he was able to get away with it. But yeah, he broke it all down. Everything he said, even element, I think it was like 115 or something like that.
Moscovian.
They now have, but he was talking about it back then, and the exact
I actually added it
properties.
to the element table too. It's pretty dope. After that drop, it's actually on the periodic table of elements. Moscovian.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. There's lots of elements that aren't on that chart though
Oh,
that they
hell
have.
yeah,
Lots of them,
absolutely.
exotics and all kind of stuff.
Facts. All right, let me see. A man, Carlos. Oh, she says. Alex says my favorite phrase: "Who watches the Watchmen?" I actually never saw that movie.
Yeah,
Exactly, Bad Wolf. I used to work at heat treatment facility. Jet fuel cannot melt steel. Like the temperature cannot reach hot enough to melt steel. Yeah,
my
we've
man.
heard that. We've heard that plenty of times. You know,
Yeah.
everybody says that. You can't melt that. Corvette report. Corbett did a lot of extremely good research. 9/11 too. The best information I've heard about the event. It's just so much shit out there about it, man. It's crazy. Just saw a video of the New York robot police dog that should be banned. It shoots a gun. I heard too. They do nothing but abuse 99% of the time. Now they bow. Now they got an invincible robot. Um, Here's the thing about that, man. What if it was a situation where like the robot only did shit to people that was breaking the law, and as soon as they pull somebody over, just start shooting a police officer? How, how fucked up would that be? Like, oh fuck, oh shit. This is not the effect we were going for. Oh,
Yeah, because
you're traveling, huh? Step out of the car. Like, damn, that was
if the robot is programmed with the law, he might go after the police officer because he's gonna be like, "You're breaking it.
they had
You're
to
not even.
specifically create a
You're not.
program called
You are
color
not
of
an American
laws.
national.
Right.
You are foreign to this land."
Holy shit. Oh man, that's a whole other can of worms, right? That's probably why they ain't implemented it yet. We gotta
Right?
figure out a way to get around this.
You're like, hold on.
Absolutely. Says don't forget the Pentagon. Yeah, the
I wasn't
Pentagon
even
would
I
never
wasn't
know.
even gonna get to that, nor the other plane that went down that left a 12-foot ditch. We'll leave that one alone too. So
Yeah, I don't want to go to some stuff.
those
We
are
already
only
said enough. We said a lot of
speculations.
shit about this motherfucker. Don't get don't get what Dick Gregory said. If you want to get the real information, you have to outsource the information. Yeah, Dick Gregory was 100% right about that.
Well,
What's
and
the
once
name?
again, you know, they have agendas and they have things that are above our pay grade that they're dealing with. And yeah, some of them are shady, some of them are for good reasons, but they do dirty stuff. Um, it's like anything else, like everybody's family. You don't think of your family as being all crap. There's some crappy things in your family. Same thing with the government. There are shady elements, but you have to understand it's all compartmentalized. Okay,
Right.
so when you say the government or the GOV or whatever, um, it's not all of them because they compartmentalize it so that there's plausible deniability. If this hand doesn't know what this hand is doing, this one can tell the truth, and from their perspective, no, we don't have any um, information or files on UFOs, and they're not lying. It's because they don't. They're just told that's garbage. Ignore it. So the head of the whole division could be like, it's garbage. Ignore it, and he's telling the truth.
Right.
And also, it's because you're well not asking the right questions. You have to ask for um, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Mhm.
UAPs is what they're called within their circuits, not UFOs. See what I'm saying?
Right.
See what I'm saying? So you have
Yeah.
to ask the right. You have to know.
It's all about semantics.
Yeah, yeah. You're not. That's why I said you're not asking the right questions. But if you guys want to get some information on that, go to blackvault.com. John Greenwald, this cat was literally my age 30 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, and he did a FOIA on all of the UFO documents as a 12-year-old kid. And yeah, and what happened was I followed this guy's career because I wanted to see, and this is where I learned a lot of stuff too. So he actually FOIA'd them. They sent well, first of all, they sent men to his house.
What?
They sent men to his house and they said, "Who is John Greenwald? We need to talk to him and find out why he's asking, doing FOIA, which it's just a FOIA. They talked to his dad. His dad was freaked out because him and his dad have the same name. And they're like, well, that's our 11-year-old son. So the dad was kind of like, you're not touching my son. What's going on with this? And like, well, no, we're not here to do anything. We're just want to know why your son has an interest in UFOs and in this paperwork. And he said, well, he's just interested in it and he wants to, build a website. So the guy built a website called blackvault.com, and he actually shows all of the FOIA files that he got on UFO interactions, UFO sightings, all of that stuff. Here's the kicker. In the old days, the ink that they used on the typewriters when they were typing up these things was a different black ink than what they used to redact 90% of these documents. So when you would hold them up to the light, you could see the unredacted information, and it's all in there. This is what so I was like, I got to keep an eye on this guy. He needs to have a long career, long, healthy career. So he still has the site up all these years later. And it's wild. So when they caught on to what he was doing and that they made their mistake, because they don't have somebody who, like me, who thinks through the whole entire process.
Mm-hmm.
They just go, okay, let's just do this. But then when their stuff is exposed, that's when they shimmy sham the info. So all of the files they then resent him were done with a different ink that you couldn't see the redacted information.
Wow.
But it would say something like, and then we seen a silver black, 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 and then two men black, and then
yeah.
But he's got a lot of cool stuff on his site. I haven't been to it in the last 2 or 3 years, but if it's still up, you guys can get a lot of jazzy information on that kind of stuff there.
That sounds dope. I remember there was this one guy that was doing a whole bunch of investigating, and I read different articles about this, but they were saying that the men in black will come visit you if you started to like get a bunch of data and shit like that on it. So this guy, he's having a picnic or something like that with his wife or something, and then he sees this spaceship or something like that that floats over and it flies away. And he says immediately after the shit left, 2 men came over to him while they were there, and they said, "Did you see anything in this area?" And he was like, "No, I didn't see nothing." It was like, "Okay, if you see anything, let me know. Don't tell anybody about what you saw." And he left and shit. It was like they look like Agent J and K basically. So he tells somebody or something like that, and when he goes to a bar, the 2 dudes come to him in the bar like, "Yo, how did you know you know what I mean?" But yeah, he said they look like they meant business. And it was like, "You tell anybody about what you saw?" And he was like, no. And it was like, "All right, don't say anything about what you saw." And they left this shit. Crazy.
So yeah, okay. So the site is still up. It's called theblackvault.com. So the word theblackvault.com. He's got the FOIA files on there. He's got the case. He's got everything. So if you call yourself an enthusiast on anything, you need to check out my man's over there. And see what he's got. Like you can get lost in the files, put it that way. But yeah, so yeah, they do come and visit. If you have seen us, if you've reported a sighting, and let me say this correctly here. If you reported a sighting and they find it to be credible, okay, because remember everything that goes through the telecommunications network is all processed, so they have a file on everybody. So if you make a claim and it's credible, they will check out what you're seeing, and it's not so much because they want to. Well, one, they want to keep the secret as long as possible until it's time to officially reveal it. So they're minimizing it, and then the thing too is because they know that there are species out there that aren't friendly and aren't supposed to be here. And according to the lore, supposed witnesses that came forward, some of them can shapeshift, and some of them look just like us, but genetically they're different. So they're either ancestors.
Sorry, my chest, I had a little cough in my bad.
Right. Yeah. You get that checked out. Some good pure water from Lake Minnetonka will help you.
But yeah, 100%, man. Hey, you already know I'm on board. We know what's up with that, man. But yeah, 100%, bro. Like, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if there was different. I actually heard there's a group called the what is it? Nartarian or
Nordics,
something?
Arcturians.
Nartarians or
Yeah.
Tartarians. The Tartarians. And they were
Yeah.
saying that there's a book you can actually buy that has different species and how they look, and when they try
Hmm.
to look like human, how their features actually come through. So there's
Yeah.
one that's called the Tartarians. It's actually really, really beautiful. And they said most of them are women.
Hmm.
Very gorgeous though. Like they've got really pretty green or blue eyes. They've got really long hair and stuff like that. Their faces are shaped a certain way. They're very friendly and they're friends of mankind and such. And they're actually about basically the betterment of society and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
then they've got ones who they don't really fuck with you like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's different. It's different races of them, and they walk around amongst us and shit. I think that would be the biggest shocker though when they reveal all this stuff is that a lot of them were here the whole time.
Well, most of them. Okay, so there's lots of things going on. There's ones that have been here for a long time. There's definitely tons of them here now. Um, they in the movies, because they own the entertainment. Okay, so all the entertainment companies and whatever else they all own. Yeah, yeah, there you go. Um, they show us in movies a lot of stuff that's going on, and they play it
Mhm.
off through the movies to
Yep.
get you slowly programmed to be acceptable.
Yep.
Like I forgot the name of the one TV show,
Outer
short-lived. I think
Limits.
it only had
Outer Limits.
one. No, no, not even that one. That was good too.
I love the Outer
But
Limits. That's my
there
shit.
was another one where these people, I think it was called The Event, and they looked exactly like us, but they had different genes that gave them different abilities, but they looked just like us. So it's stuff like that that makes you go, yeah, you guys are just preparing us for what's already going on.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So, but it makes sense. I mean, that's how you play it. I mean, think about it. How if you had some people that were, possibly scared of this information, might kill themselves or might,
That's crazy that people would do that
whatever.
to themselves though. Like,
They can't. What do they always say? You don't talk about politics and religion. Well,
yeah,
stuff like that would bring all of that to play.
yeah.
Because then it starts questioning the Bible and people's faiths, and that's something most. But think about it. Remember, 90% of people in the world have a faith based on a God.
Yeah.
So then, if their books don't speak about other beings, then where does your faith come in at? You know what I
Well, see,
mean?
the thing about that is a lot of that stuff's been pulled from the books. The books
Right.
they've been reading. I mean, there's literally, if you look at the Holy Bible, I think there's over like 70 different books that were pulled from it. So
Hmm.
like, and it talks about all that stuff in them, you know.
Right, right. But see, the human people who wanted to control the other people, okay, pulled that out, and then that left people going, okay, well, there is nothing, because otherwise my book of faith would have that in there. I don't see it. So now they're in a position where they're like, all right, we got to slowly wean people back onto this because we're only going to be able to keep this secret for so long,
Mm.
and especially with all these flybys with the space station and appearing over the cities and stuff like that. Um, Another good book. Okay, so a couple good books people can read if they want this is A Stranger in the Pentagon is a really good book. It's about this guy whose name I think he goes by Valiant Thor, and you can look this up on YouTube if you just want to see some videos on this guy. So supposedly the story goes that in the Roswell incident that there were gray aliens in a craft, and this guy named Valiant Thor who looks like us. Okay, it's like a regular human, about our same height. I mean everything down to the whatever. And so the story goes is that when that craft crashed, he was found there, but their IQ was something like 500 or 600. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Just like off the chart. So he was learning English while in orbit, and they wanted to basically meet, like with the president, whatever else. So they didn't understand that you can't just fly down on the lawn and
Mhm.
park and say hi. You know,
Yeah.
so they were surveying and they were looking around and they were learning stuff. So when it crashed,
Right. Right.
because we happen to have technology to shoot them down, um,
We
they
have
got to the.
technology to shoot them down.
Oh yeah, oh
Shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe one of the people in there was even talking about a scalar weapon. We have that. That's a real thing. That I didn't, I seen what he put on there. I knew exactly what it was. Like I said, it's all technology. And then there's a way to use it the proper way, but you don't even need that. You can actually do it. In the old days, the radar dishes put out so much power, and I know this from a guy who was in the military because I took his class in college. This guy told me that he threw a wrench at the circuit, the two terminals that power a radar dish, and it atomized the wrench.
What?
That's how much power is going through there. It blew it to actual atoms.
What?
So he was saying that when they take the radar dishes, you can aim it at the craft, and if you just hold it there, because normally they just kind of go round and round, so it's a quick little beam. But when you focus one or two at the same object, the UFOs, their ships, their the magnetic field that's around them can't protect them. They don't have a grounding shield. They probably do now because we're working with them. But
yeah, I know about that.
Yeah. So long story short, the guy got out speaking broken English, and basically told him, "Hey, I'm peaceful," and so they kind of let him chill, but they took the grays to be examined, and they kept an eye on him. Long story short, the book kind of goes on talking about how he was a welcome guest at the Pentagon, and how he advanced certain things and told them what's really going on. And it's so A Stranger at the Pentagon is a good read. What's the other one? Oh, The Day After Roswell. Okay, those two books. If you guys like any of this stuff, you have to get the book The Day After Roswell. The guy in it, Corso, was a general, and he became the head of their secret division, right? So, long story short, he ends up talking about how he didn't see the Roswell incident, but he got to see the wreckage. And so this was back in the 40s, and the guy over him told him, "You need to take these parts and give them to." Well, actually, no, let me say this correctly. The guy told him, "We have to figure out a way to use this technology." But remember, they didn't have their own manufacturing plants like that. They had to outsource things. So what he figured out is that if I take this Kevlar to DuPont, if I take this device here, and he talks about in the book, he says that the devices, when they broke them apart, looked like bugs that were glued down to boards, and they thought that they used living bugs in their stuff. Because remember, we didn't have IC technology or chips,
Right.
so they didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
They were kind of working on lasers and whatever else, but they didn't have that. So he talks about how he gave them laser technology. He gave Motorola, AT&T, all these places, DuPont, Kevlar, gave them all these pieces and told them, "We want your best version of this. You guys can have the patent, but all the technology you guys make with this, when you get it figured out, we want first dibs at the best stuff." And the only reason why he broke the story after his passing was because he had grandchildren. He says that they have a right. The human race has a right to know what's going on. That we are, not alone. And I mean, he shows his credentials. He's legit. No one's ever been able to debunk him. So yeah, get the book The Day After Roswell and Stranger at the Pentagon. Those are some of the best reads I've ever had.
Fire, yo. That's great information, dude. I'm telling you, man. That type of shit, like, dude, like if everybody was as open minded as we are and was able to absorb the information, I think we would be better off, man, because a lot of this shit we would be able to know about. They wouldn't have to lie about a lot of this shit. Man.
Yeah, it's
like,
no
it's
different.
people who wear masks while they drive around in a car by themselves. Yo, you don't need to know this shit, bro.
Well, it's no different. Think A6. Think of you and me as being the government, okay? And then think of us having kids, and then dealing with the next door neighbor is a weirdo, the mailman is a pedo, and whatever else. You're not going to bring that information to your kids. Maybe your oldest son, you can say, "Hey, don't go by the neighbor's house." You know what I mean?
Right.
But you're not going to tell the kids who can't handle that information. If you're smart enough to find it on your own, that's fine.
Right.
Okay, you know how to navigate. But to the ones who aren't ready to navigate, you leave them in their little bubble, because that's what keeps the system going.
Yeah.
You can't have system disruptions.
The best way to release that information to me would be to do like basically continuous releasage. So like when the CIA released all those files, it basically said telekinesis is real, psychic powers is real, you know, like mutant abilities, all that shit is real. Basically,
Yeah.
they released all this stuff and nobody gave a fuck. It was like, oh, yo, there's over 20,000 documents that have been released. I think it was more than that. But there's declassified documents that have been released about all of these things people have been asking and people think are fake, like, you know, telekinesis and stuff like that. It's been the CIA pretty much, it's etched in stone. That shit's ready to be
Yeah.
read about.
Oh
But
yeah.
people they don't care. And that blows me away. Like, yo, y'all don't care about this shit. You don't know that there's a way to actually enhance the way you function. You don't care about your third eye. You don't care about the pineal gland. None of that stuff's important to you. Cool. Let
Like
me
a
find
lot of
people who
people,
it is cool to and rock with them. You know what I mean?
I talk to are just like, well, what is the benefit of that?
My man, that's crazy to me though.
How does that benefit me? How can I get my money out of my, you know, whatever, and or out of the secret account? I'm like, just stop. Don't ask me
Nah,
those
bro. Like,
questions.
if you
You
asking me
know,
questions like that, the path is probably
but
not for you.
see, the whole thing is because the system does not cater to people being intelligent.
Nope.
Think about when we were kids, especially for me. Like I remember they would have like Schoolhouse Rock or you know, some kind of Daffy Duck skit where they were talking about like the geometric circles, you know, solfeggio frequencies, math, and all that stuff. They don't do that anymore.
Mhm.
They realize that people want entertainment. They work off of people's primary. We all have a set of instincts and reactions that are just animalistic and primary, and they know that one is fear and the other one's entertainment. Okay, if
Mhm.
they can keep you either afraid or entertained, you turn off your logical thinking and your animalistic side comes on. Okay, and then now you're just in survival mode. You're not worried about anything. You know, kind of like if you've ever been in a haunted house and being scared. You know, you're not worried about the next person's safety. You're pushing people out of the way. You're trying to get to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Ooh, you know. So
Yeah.
that's what they do. They keep us in a constant state of fear while also providing us entertainment, but nothing intelligent.
Right.
So if you're not out there actively trying to make yourself more intelligent by reading and listening to, you know, positive music, like I'll even say like I listen to affirmations. You know, I'm a pretty confident person already, but I'll go to sleep listening to positive affirmations on YouTube where over and over they're just like, you know, you are positive, you are successful, you know, you are your body is healing itself, you know, all to help me, you know, versus listening to what's on the radio. Because we listen to what's on the radio or whatever else, all they're talking about is sex and pills and drugs.
Perks. Yep.
That's it.
Let
Because
me
that's
show
what
y'all this real quick.
they want you to be on.
100% that frequency. Yep. Let me show. I meant to show y'all this. Now I'm just gonna show this real quick. But yo, look at this joint right here. I keep this right in front of my TV. So I actually got this joint off of as opposed to the spherical model. I actually got this bad boy right here on display. So I like this thing. This thing's pretty awesome. I actually got it off eBay. And you can pretty much take the top off and
That's cool.
yeah. But yeah, 100%. They want to keep you you know, keep people at a lower vibration. And you know, just basically give them their football and stuff like that, their baseball, basketball, and all that stuff.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with entertainment, but you have to use it in moderation, like anything
Absolutely.
else.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, most people are feeding them. They don't. Most people don't even realize they're being programmed. They don't want to admit they're being programmed, which is the first part of being programmed. You know, and they don't want to feed themselves anything. And yeah, most of the sports are rigged. It's all entertainment. The stuff
Mhm.
going on TV, it's entertainment.
Yeah, he said they got football. Jimmy says all football is rigged. They know who is going to win for the most part. The refs blame it on them as cheating. Well, listen, man. There is a reason the refs aren't allowed to be interviewed. You can't ask the refs why they made a certain decision or nothing like that, because for the very reason of they're the way the games get rigged. A lot of calls and stuff, you know what I mean? All that stuff. I even think they use CGI for the playback videos. You know what I mean? Make it look like he's a little bit closer than he actually was. That kind of stuff. You know, so you know that's pretty much all 100% organized. Even with like you know, the guy Steph Curry who makes all those baskets and stuff. He can throw it from anywhere in the basketball court and it always goes in. They probably got a magnet in the ball or something like that, and the hoop might be magnetized. There's all kinds of stuff they got for you.
Yeah, I
It's-
mean, don't get me wrong. It's entertainment, first of all. Okay, no one said this was like, it, it, it's a corporation that owns it, so they can do whatever they want to do. All of them are under the same banner, first of all. Secondly, yeah, they know what's going on, and they don't control it 100% because there is human error to things, but they will put enough things in place to pitch that there is a 80 to 90% chance that this team should win,
Right.
and because there's a lot of money on it.
Exactly.
There's billions of dollars on the table and under the table on that. They'd be like, think about it. There's one company that owns it, the entire NFL, the entire tennis league, the entire whatever else. Okay, they're all corporations, just like your cities. You can have the county of, the township of, the whatever. Those are all corporations. Somebody owns them,
Hmm.
and so you can't tell me that they're not going to pitch things in their favor. I mean,
Right.
I'm a good dude, but if I own the NFL and I wanted to see the whatever team the Packers win, guess what? Packers gonna win. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. We got guys, everybody. This year it's the Packers' turn because you know what? They haven't won in years, and so it'll be a great upset. I'm gonna put money on the Packers. So everybody,
And my son is dating the coach's daughter, so yeah, hey, whatever.
right? Yeah,
You know what I
she wants her favorite team's the Packers, so we're gonna go that way this year.
mean? Right.
I would do the same thing too. You know what I mean? I mean, it's entertainment. You can't be mad because I'm how I entertain you.
Hey, that's facts. Hey, what can
You
I
don't
say,
like the
man?
show. You don't like the show. Turn to something else and watch my other show. One of
Watch
the
my, watch my other show.
Get this. Okay, so in my city, this was years ago. So there was a major club, okay, and there was this guy who owned it. He got busted on a lot of stuff. But long story short, he didn't like a lot of people of color coming into his club. Okay, he was not non-colored, we'll just say, and he had a ratio. And I got to know this guy. So it wasn't that he didn't like black people; he just didn't like hood black people.
Mhm.
So I got to know him, and he ended up kind of divulging to me because this is what I wanted to do when I wanted to open up a club years ago. I got to know all the owners. I was VIP everywhere, from here to whatever.
Nice.
And he told me he wanted about 5% black. It's like 60% women, like 30% guys. But he wanted them all more upscale. And then he purposefully wouldn't sell liquor. And this is how the liquor companies present their products, is they know which demographic of people drink what
Exactly.
beer more likely than others.
And then same thing when you can't go in a spot that's supposed to be quote unquote European and get Hennessy, they ain't got that shit. And you can't
Yes.
go in another space and order Blue Moon, they ain't got that shit.
So what he did was he bought the building two buildings across the street. And when you couldn't get into his primary club, the bouncers would say, well, go to that building across the street, which he also owned. And that one had more security prepared for the people he didn't want there. So he still got your money, but he
Shit.
kept out the people. He ended up having a lawsuit because some black lawyers figured out what he was doing,
Yeah.
and they sued him, and they won quietly. But that's the whole thing. It's all entertainment. So if you don't like it here, go and spend money in other place.
Hmm. Hey, I can't say that's not smart business, but shit.
It's business, and like Trump said, it's business.
Right,
You don't have
100%.
to like it, but if I can do it and the law doesn't prevent me from doing it, hey, keep your personal feelings out of it. This is business. Business is cold, blind, and dead.
That's facts. Yep. That's facts, man. Yeah, all right, so I'm about to wrap it up for the night. I'm tired as hell, man. This is a great convo, man. Yo, Wolf, what you got going on at Black Site 32? Anything new?
Yeah, I'm about to do a revamp. I'm going to add some new files. I've been slacking on that lately because, like you, I've got about 15 books behind me that I haven't gotten to.
Yeah.
So some of the files that were for pay are now going to be free. It's about time to just release some of that information. So, I'm doing that, which I did the video on the WABN, going to do one on the W4V. I might conquer the UCC. And then, like I said, just going to move on. Like some stuff will still be for sale, obviously, like the explanatory statement or whatever else, and helping people with the passport. I'm going to bring in some new stuff to put on there. And yeah, so we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing. So it's going to be, more free stuff. Some stuff that was, for pay is going to be now for free. And then we're going to have new stuff. So if you want to do some new processes we're working on, that'll be there. There's still lots of discounts. Finally got the merch link up on there. So if people want shirts and whatever else, consultations.
Nice.
Other than that, yeah, it's just business as usual. So we're just going to keep it rolling. But as always, definitely appreciate you having me on the show. If you guys don't forget to hit my man's Cash App. All right, it's on the little scroll down there. So hit him up. My man needs some more books.
Yes, sir.
And
The more
also,
books I got, the more knowledge I can drop to you guys.
that is what it's all about right there. And just so you guys know, like me and Six, we will bounce information off of each other all day. So supporting him helps to support me, and supporting me helps to support him. So hit his Cash App. Don't forget to hit that like button down there, subscribe, share these posts and his videos. Because like I said, he's on the same page as me, where they don't YouTube doesn't necessarily promote our material. So we need you guys to hit that like and to share. Use it, learn this stuff, and just keep stepping, keep it moving, guys.
100%. I couldn't have said it no better than that, man. Thank everybody for tuning in. Wolf, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you here with your knowledge and expertise. Everybody who's been commenting, you guys are excellent, man. You guys are why I do this. You know what I mean? So we got a nice community. We like to keep it alive. Go over there to Black Site 32. Make sure you grab a few things from him. He's got some great stuff on there. If you just learn how to start the freedom process and getting your passport stuff together, holler at my man. Hit his email. We also both do consultations. So if you would like a consultation, you can reach out to both of us via email. You can hit him up anytime you need him. You can hit me up anytime you need me. Meanwhile, it is the Foreign National Born Natural A6. Thank you for tuning in. I'll holler at you guys next week. Peace.